Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U Clutch Key, helping to bring you those top plays, so let's get things started. In Valorant, it's the Loyola Maryland Greyhounds taking on the Army West Point Black Knights, taken to map number 1 on Icebox, and the Greyhounds winning the pistol round, so it's looking good for them to go up 10-4, but with the Marshal, it's MIB Police from the Black Knights on the case.
But that opportunity won't be afforded. D-Sung, though, could turn this into a rifle. Potentially more. MIB Police from the Raptors doing work with the Marshal and might even present a greater threat. Jumping down with the Classic. Turn into a right-click hero. A Marshal in hand. And MIB Police secures a 4K. Force round be damned.
A heroic play from MIB Police, but it would be the Black Knights taking Icebox and winning the series 2-0. Let's go to Rocket League with the St. Lawrence Saints and the Bengals of Buffalo State. Down by 1 in game number 3, and the Bengals are looking for that equalizer in the final minute of the game. Luckily, Jesco decides that, yeah, overtime is probably a good thing going into the last minute.
It's hard in order to even think about getting an insurance goal here.
Oh boy, it does feel like SLU as well, just trying to play survival mode. No, maybe they're thriving instead. A good bouncer from Elmo Fingers does get past one defender. Turks moving this across the width of the field. The pinch, finding the midfield here. Good catch from Jesco, putting a shot on target as well. Jesco!
Overtime, it would go in game number 3, and actually the Saints would win overtime, but as for the series, it would be all Buffalo State taking the dub 4-1. Overwatch 2 action with the Great Danes of Albany and the Spartans of UNC Greensboro. Third map on Havana, and the Great Danes want to cap first point in just under a minute. But Magix has a trick up their sleeve, and in fact, they might have more than one.
Out of here, they want to get that kill, and they're doing it. Jesse, they are doing it. Now Magix is back on the field. Lobs Nick's head, oh my god! Showing Volks in the business end of that too. The payload is still being contested, and it's all, oh my.
Not only is Magix One a sniper, but the Spartans had a one of their own in the form of a broom, as the Spartans would go on to win the series 3-0. To League of Legends, where the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern take on the Dukes of James Madison. 12th minute in game number 2, and the Polar Bears want their second dragon. On the Kiana, though, Shomi is about to show us what robbery on the Rift looks like.
Great rotation onto this. They got the first dragon. They are likely to pick up the second here, and the Shomi can somehow make this work.
Well, they're trying, and over the wall, they got a ward and said snipe. And the steal! The steal from Shomi said you only...
Dragon stolen, and even with the kill lead, the Polar Bears also got that stolen away. In the end, Dukes would come out with the dub 2-0. Let's head to Overwatch 2 action with the Aggies of Utah State taking on the Rams of Colorado State. Down a map on Nepal, and the Rams need to make some sort of comeback to force map 3. Well, a crazy team fight leads up to why Death Trap lives up to the tag.
You're going to be in a great position. This Dragon Strike might be able to create some separation. But Cass is just taking heads.
Cass rolls the head of the finish right now. There's the Terror Search. Is he going to find anything? Is the question. Immortality Butte having to be used. This Death Trap finds a triple. Oh my goodness. Death Trap finds a fourth. He's going to find the team kill. It's now the Rams would force map number 3, but the Aggies were too strong for the rest of the contest, and the Utah State Aggies get the sweep 3-0. To Summoner's Rift in League, where the Aztecs of San Diego State take on the Spartans of San Jose State. Game 1, and all the advantages to the Aztecs 30 minutes in, and Devour on the Caitlyn makes sure it stays that way to march to the base.
Half health. Actually, with the Chaos Storm dropped as well, that might be the go button as everyone follows the rock, and it's not going to be enough off the outset. Goku shut down in the back line, and it's all falling apart for this fight that San Jose chose to take. The ADCs are all together. Piao picked up a kill on the backside. Tabula Rasa's surviving forever. Eventually,
the Aztecs would go on to win game number 1, but something clicks in the Spartans, and San Jose would win the series 2-1. To Valorant with Andromeda taking on the University of Houston Scarlet team. Map number 2 on Fracture, and Andromeda wants to push A site, but Binko is sitting around the corner, and even with little to no utility, Binko just finds a way to make heads roll.
1-for-1 trade, make it 1-for-2 as Slorth takes down Altier, trying to trade for Orchid. Binko now trapped in a corner. They're shooting out the Prowlers, and there's not a lot of places that Binko can go, but now only Slorth being the one peeking. Oh, Binko, what was that?
Binko calls bingo on the ace, and it would be Houston who calls game on Fracture as they win the series 2-0.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's going to
This corner judge is good for 1, 2, get
He needs more. They're doing even more here.
You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Toy Boy just gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
And welcome here. We are excited to be ready to go with a Friday full of action. We are here with a best of 5 for League of Legends here with the ECAC. I'm very, very excited. My name is Orbital. With me is Shibby. Shibby, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. The teams, the lineups that we get to see today. Oh, I think I know a little bit about one of these teams here, Orbital, and it's definitely going to be very spicy.
Only a little bit. Come on, let's be real here. Let's be real. You were getting excited the entire time, and I would too. We got Ohio Northern University versus Pace University. These two are gonna try and fight it out for a spot in the grand finals, and I am telling you, you do not want to miss this. It is a first to 3, best of 5. It is going to be an action-packed series one way or another, whether it is a slaughter, a tooth and nail battle, or a surprising upset. Only time will tell. Let's go ahead and get started with ONU, though. Shibby, you got some words and you got some intel on these guys.
You know, I've tuned in. I've talked to the gods. I've found the radio communications. No. ONU, they were actually, some of their players competed earlier this season in the MEC, the Midwest Esports Conference. Unfortunately, they were unable to take the championship, but damn, did some of their players look insanely good. One player in particular, Orbital, his name is Kai99. Do you want to know the moniker that he earned during his tenure in MEC? It was King Kai, man. He was dominating the bottom lane, and I don't expect anything less from him.
Oh, man. To be able to make the great Shibby call you that, and not only that, multiple other casters, that's saying something. That is saying something. They are coming in to this series with a nigh undefeated record. This squad has yet to really drop a series, if I'm not mistaken, and that not only states how strong they are, but how consistent they are. For a team that is wanting to make it into the finals, you can't be lax. You cannot sit down and go, okay, you know, we dropped a series, that's okay. They strive for perfection, and that's what I'm expecting. On Pace University's side, they got a little bit more to work with, and we'll get to them here in a little bit because we have the draft ready to go. These teams want to get started as soon as possible, and we are underway. Pace will be on the blue side to kick things off here in this best of 5. Ohio Northern, of course, on that red, and you can see immediately the Syndra banned away. Kato not allowed that all-encompassing champion.
Yeah, and Pace is no slouch, right? They're here for a reason. It's not that ONU is going to come in here, cakewalk, you know, the semifinals here. Pace is definitely, you know, a roster that can not even just take games, they can take them to distance and even win this here. So Ohio Northern, they can't come into this, oh, we've got some of our main roster, we can do some of this, we can do some of that. Pace earned their spot here, and if you're the underdog, if you're Pace, play like you have no regrets. Leave it all out on the Rift, because if you're ONU, the expectations are high, the pressure is there. There is something that is ominous behind you if you're the team that is not the underdog, and if you lose a game, your mental can get shot here. So I think Pace have a very good shot of upsetting ONU here. And as the Udyr gets banned out, Aggression, who showed a near perfect game last week on the Udyr, will not be receiving that.
Nope, can't allow that type of versatility to come in here. You see it a lot of the time. It's the ability to have multiple entry points. It's not very straightforward. It's the I can come from the jungle, from the mid, straight through lane. It is so devastating. And now we're taking a look at the rest of the bans as well. The Malphite and the Nunu were banned away against Pace. Milio, though, this one has been rising in the ranks. We've seen it all over the place. Milio is strong. And if you are not comfortable taking it, you have to ban it away. It is a smart ban. The Akali to finish things out. ONU taking out primary meta champions away from Pace's hands.
Locking in that Aphelios early is definitely interesting from Pace here. Now you open yourself up to something like a Wukong dive, right? A Wukong Nautilus. We could see like the Xayah Rakan, these very dive-heavy compositions is, yes, you can draft the Thresh, or if you're ONU, you can just take Jinx Thresh for yourself. And now Aphelios, who loves having that support with him on themselves here, will not have that safety. But Ohio Northern, they're thinking what I'm thinking. They see Aphelios, they're going to take Wukong and said, we're going to challenge you to kind of play safe, play around this Thresh, because Cyclone Dive is absolutely devastating, and having that reset potential with the Jinx, having it match the scaling for scaling power, just shows why ONU, their drafting is on point. We see the Thresh being locked in.
I mean, that has to be the answer, right? And now you have to take a look at the fact, you have to understand that most likely there is a Lulu coming out on the other side. I would not be unopposed to that, but this is the proper response, right? The Gragas coming out, this is a standard tier. Actually, that I've seen more as a first blind pick for a lot of blue side teams, and to try and push away the Jinx and Lulu, trying to make sure they're not as close to each other, section the Jinx alone, but it is the rightful path. The Lulu being locked in here, we now have our jungle and bot lanes filled up, so ONU and Pace are going to be looking to round out their mid and top lanes respectively, unless that Gragas decides to go in a different direction, but the Talon being banned first by Ohio North.
It is a nice triflex. Gragas doesn't actually reveal as much as you would think, right? Because, oh, yeah, it definitely goes in the jungle, right? It can match the Wukong in pacing, has really good gank power, obviously the disengage. But if you find a favorable top matchup, right? I've coined him the Malzahar of top lane. Impossible to kill, just survives everything, trades really well into some of the meta top laners here. You can shift him top if you see something a little bit more advantageous. Ohio Northern is going to have to blind either their top or their mid lane here, so it allows that Gragas flex pick to be thrown around very, very loosely, as the Scion being taken away by Ohio Northern. They don't want to see any tanks, no shenanigans at all. Silas ban as well, interesting. Kato is a Silas player, but I didn't think it would be the best angle, especially if you want to flex the Gragas around. I feel like Kato's champ pool has been targeted just a little bit here. I want to see what aggression will end up locking in. Maokai potentially. So that signals to me that it's a Wukong top lane.
Ooh, and that would be a bit spicy right there, because again, that now shows, and yeah, this is going to come out. Wukong is strong, don't get me wrong, but it's against some of the tanks out there, it doesn't do as well. You know, we see some of these differences. The Ornn is going to be able to really hang on towards that mid to late game, and then you go ahead and round out with an all-arounder. Pace is going to lock in that victor. For Ohio Northern, you're wondering, okay, top side might not win as easily as we expect. What are we going to do instead? Cool, let's go ahead and add a little bit of variety to the mix. Let's bring a little bit of dancing to the mix. The Ahri being locked in here, not playing to go directly into the victor, but to help set up the rest of the team. I really do enjoy this one. It's saying, we understand we are going to have to work as a squad to take this early game if we so wish.
Ohio Northern have drafted themselves a very shrewd dive composition, right? Like, you have the Wukong, you have the Ahri, you have the Maokai, right? Sets up all of this CC. Cyclone, Root, you know, the Ahri charm as well. It just makes it so that all of this CC can land, and you've got Kai cleaning up on the back end. Whoever gets hit by a charm, a root, or anything like that, that person should, in theory, be dead to rights. The tankiest member, obviously, on their team is the Ornn. Gragas tends to go a more AP heavy build. If he was top lane, we might have seen the Roa, but considering that he's going to jungle, we probably will see a more AP squishier build from him. Disengage is very nice. You've got Thresh, you've got Gragas, you've got Ornn just as a big neutral body. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is the Chaos Storm plus Gravity Field can provide a lot of terrain control, right? If you get Pace into these river fights, into these dragons, into these heralds, you've got potentially an Aphelios turret to contest with, Gragas barrels, you've got the Ornn Q to contest with, right? The little mountain. And then also you've got Gravity Field Chaos Storm. It can force Ohio Northern to take really awkward angles because Pace is just throwing out a plethora of Legos across the board, and you've got to step through them or step around.
Which, in the same respect, I do feel Ohio Northern are going to be the team that are like, we can step around, right? Let's look at it on the other side. You talked about how shrewd their composition can be, and I appreciate that fact, right? The side flanks from Wukongs can be devastating. The twisted advance coming in from the Maokais, as well as the fact that you're looking at that overgrowth, just the vines coming out from over a screen away. as much as we say the frontward assault, if you try and take on Pace straight up front, you are going to have a rough time. That does mean that those side angles can be left to vulnerability. If Pace send everything straight forward, they will have nothing to defend their side. So let's go ahead and see if that comes out to be true. Motors will be taking that Maokai in the top side, so not the Wukong that we thought was going in up there. It is Aggression still on the Wukong, and then to shake things up once again, it is Nitro running with the Gragas and going to be having some fun.
Orbital, did I just get transported back to like season 4? Like Maokai top lane? Like what is happening right now? Motor more than happy to take the tree into the top lane Aggression, taking that Wukong to the jungle. Very nice clear speed. Crushing blows plus Sheen is an absolute nightmare to deal with if you are an ADC or a mid laner here. So if this Wukong gets a kill, gets 2 kills really early on, you typically see them just kind of run the game over here. They get early objectives, they get early prio, and now with the Philios Thresh being locked in, I feel like Jinx Lulu will be able to pressure these dragons very well, along with this Ahri in the mid lane. I feel like top lane is that wet noodle fight, but I feel like Orange just scales so much better, right? Even with items, minus the ornaments. I feel like Maokai just doesn't really have that trading power in the top lane. He's got some mana issues as well.
He has, let's just say there's a reason he's in the jungle most of the time for the Maokai. There's a reason it's there. And we'll see again if this is used as just kind of blocking, because I do feel, again, it was picked up after the Wukong, but they were looking to flex it anyway. They were looking to try and dance things out and really kind of figure out exactly how they want to play this one. So they'll hang on to it for the time being. Will it win out? Only time will tell. Both junglers did start on the top side. This is, again, the standard. It's vocally on both ends as well, meaning that Aggression and Nitro may be looking towards that bot scuttle, and it'll be the bot laners to figure out if they want to help their jungler or not.
Pace did put down a pretty interesting ward. Might be able to catch out Aggression here if he does step a little bit too far, or maybe he steps into the mid lane. And as I say that, that ward actually just times out here. So we don't know still where these junglers are starting. But now Kai trading in the bot lane.
Oh, it's very strong hits. These two, it's surprising because the Jinx and the Aphelios are known as champions that do want to try and scale up, but that's going to be a flash out. Kato having to flash away early as Nitro makes a surprise visit to mid.
Ooh, I thought Nitro might have flash followed. It was just enough time, but instead opts to hold it. Will probably regank. Did they see the Wukong on the vision?
Step just out of vision. So Quay and Fist realizing that someone is on the bot side, and Aggression knows it too. So was going to look to gank, can't do anything about it, and now has to go back to take their camp. Both junglers making their presence known on the bottom side of the map, as we stated.
Yeah, and like we said, Kai not playing with his typical bot laner that is Cuz we saw last week. That is his main partner. Tango Charlie being the roster that they locked in here. So we might see a little bit of hesitancy from these guys, and we might see a little bit more subdued of a bot lane. But Kato and Aggression, these guys play so well off of each other. I'm waiting to see when they start roaming down to the bot lane as a two-man squad, as now they're going to fight for River.
Yes, they are, and it was a smite away by Nitro, so this is going to be revenge coming out here, but a good flash now leaves Taro in a dangerous scenario, tries to flash down to the rest of the team, and a hook comes out. What an aggressive turnaround. Fist is able to make it happen, and they still get the kill. A flash forward by Aggression to try and chain it up, and it is turned, but it's a 1v2 and a 1-4-2 by Pace. They take a march forward.
It doesn't matter how good you are, ONU. You cannot fight the numbers advantage. 4 men strong from Pace. They take the first blood. They take another kill here, and Kato and Aggression are set onto the back foot. Victor getting that early kill as well is going to get him to those power scaling points very soon, right? His passive that gets so many stacks if he gets a kill here. I believe it's 25 on it. He's going to get those upgraded spells, upgraded abilities, and he's going to have a nice little bit of control in this lane as the blue buff is also on him as well. Kato in kind of a nightmare scenario.
Of course, this is an R. You want to have control over the early game. You want to have control over your lane opponent so you can be the one to roam. That's why you picked the R. You didn't pick it to win the late game. No one, okay, some people do, but I personally just would not pick Ahri to be like, I'm going to win the late game. You're going to be this monster late game powerhouse. No, you pick it to try and control. And the fact that Taro now has freedom, right? Not just freedom to work the wave as you wish. Blue buff. Blue buff is a pain in the butt on a Victor, so this is going to be scary. Pace have an opportunity to push a lead forward, and if they make it work, it's going to be phenomenal for this squad.
I can see the bald eagle on Taro's shoulder. That's how much freedom he has in the lane now, Orbital. And you're completely correct. The blue buff, the lane shove, right? He's just going to be able to rotate his abilities so much sooner. This guy is consistently topped off in the mana pool here. And as long as Nitro's hovering around, even if Aggression wants to do something, the 2v2 is much stronger. As now Kai and Tango Charlie once again trading in this bot lane. The cold Jinx has no regrets as now Nitro's invading onto Aggression.
They fought on the bot side, allowing Nitro to chase in and get some damage down, but Kato is the first one to rotate.
Bot?
Take a look. This is why they say, hey, we know where your jungler is, and we will take advantage. Down goes Kai, and now a fight back. Aggression realizes that Kato can't really help either, but a good clone might be able to turn it. Do you get the one? No, you don't. Aggression wins the 1v1. What a turnaround now. What is going on with these teams?
Aggression countering Nitro's aggression pretty much, right? The cooldowns a little bit too long for Gragas in that early game, and what we don't realize is that Wukong, with extra autos, with the clone, with the E, he gets access to even more decimating smashes here. So really, really nice coming out from Wukong, specifically Aggression, countering it. And we see the Sheen, we see the double longsword. This is the power spike, Orbital. Crushing blows is so disgusting.
It's gonna be harsh. I mean, we said Nitro and Taro had a good lead before. They had some awesome advantages, but I mean, huge on for Pace to be able to break that bot lane open, right? Quay now having a kill over, that is massive. But now, again, as you said, Aggression is going to have a chance back. So Nitro, the advantage that you earned earlier is going to be a little bit leveled out. You're still up in camps, but it's still going to be a huge problem if Aggression is allowed to kind of run forward. And this is around Nitro now joining in the bot side. Man, I talk a little bit too much because Kai now is in a dangerous spot. This is now the second death of the Jinx, a bully montage from Pace in this bot side.
Yeah, they understand where ONU's bread is buttered, and they're definitely going to try to find a weakness down there. And bringing Nitro in, Fist as well on this Thresh, has had heat-seeking lasers onto Kai. These death sentences have literally been living up to their name, as the Lulu just kind of has to idly watch by as Kai dies here. Now, with that kill, they are going to pick up the Cloud Dragon here, so not a monumental loss in momentum. It is just a Cloud Dragon, but it allows you to stack them early, allows you to push the pace of the game. And it's interesting that we talk about pushing the pace for them because they have a Ornn, a Victor, a Philios. You would think they would try to extend the game as long as you can, but if you give them this free Dragon, if you give them these free kills bottom, accelerating their power spikes with these items, they'll simply just take it, and now they've coasted to a 1,000 gold lead at the 8-minute mark.
Best way to assume is, hey, you had to wait for 35 minutes until you're online, or 30 minutes. Nah, let's shorten it about 25 minutes. That's what Pace is looking for. Cut down the clock. It's a long day. A best of 5 is no joke. If you have not played in a best of 5, if you do not specifically practice for a best of 5, by game 3 or possibly 4 or 5, you can be burnt out. You don't want to let yourself get completely gassed after just 2 games. So honestly, a little bit of temperament, a little bit of close the games out quickly, don't allow mistakes, don't let the series go on for too long. Save your energy, right? Play at your peak the entire time. That's what I feel Pace is kind of looking for. Nitro, though, is saying, I want to play for the fun of it, invading for a 3rd time without any bot side help.
And really shout out to the Observer, right? Cutting the vision there, understanding that, hey, Kai and Tango, they know something's up, but they don't know where Taro and Nitro are at. All they know that a cross map is attempting to happen here. And so Aggression, even though he's taking the Herald, Pace is still trying to do something, pressuring Kai off of CS, off of EXP, right? That's what you need, especially if you have this bot lane, like you said. Landing another death sentence onto Tango here. We'll just trade some damage here, but really nice from ONU to recognize it, but even better from Pace to even try to get something here and keep their momentum going.
I mean, yeah, this has been Fist being a bully, and with that aggression, with that power that they have, ONU are now looking in other directions. How do you get Kato out of this mid lane? A TP was just used there. Now over the wall, we see Aggression taking a look on the bot side, but really, you're walking through so many wards. It's so difficult, right? That's going to be a drop of the pink ward there. And Aggression still setting up. This should be a known, but here they go. In comes a Lantern, and it's just free real estate. Now Nitro coming in to fight back. That's going to be the grab down. They're going to get a belly slam. They get the hook. The Chain CC is good. And now the cast. It's so easy.
1, 2, 3. You line them up. You shoot them down. Fist does end up getting the kill onto Aggression. Not the best here, but you'll take that because now Nitro is going to look to pressure Kai and Tango off of this wave. Nice little pickup, setting Aggression far back as Kato getting matched on the roam as well. Taro and them trading abilities, trading blow for blow here. And like you mentioned, this Victor is coasting, having control of this mid lane, scaling and everything like that. Ahri cannot do much.
When you look at an Ahri matchup, you have to say, okay, is the lane matchup going even? It's a loss to the Ahri. I hate saying that, but it's true because now look at this. Taro's getting a bit of a pinch in a flash forward and look at that burst. There was no chance. Honestly, Kato, I give respect, but that was all pace. They just said you aren't even going to get the chance to flash, to ult, to do anything.
Yeah, it's rough if you're Kato, right? Because you're getting bullied out. You're trying to establish lane control. Yes, you have your Everfrost, the cheapest of the mage mythics, but how are you going to use it, and who are you really going to use it into, right? Gragas is very mobile, has the E. Realistically, the Bellows Breath coming out from Ornn is going to be able to stop it, right? Victor and Affiliate should never be in range of it. So this Ahri pick is just going to get less and less value as the game goes on. And I want to see what he's going to be able to do because I haven't seen him roam. I haven't really seen him do too much because Taro has just been keeping the lane shoved. Has gotten 2 plates for himself, or a plate and a half for himself. He's going to let that one go down. And he's just keeping this Ahri in check. And like you mentioned, if the lane's even, if she's not roaming, you've won, right? You've won that mid lane for yourself.
And would you say that's more on Aggression not being able to help out mid, or would you say that's just more a consequence of how the game played out because Pace were getting aggressive, because Pace grouped up a little bit earlier in the river? Like, what is the main reason that this occurred? Because it really doesn't feel like Kato just let the mid lane go away, right?
No, I think it was that early kill, right? Getting that blue buff, the double kill as well. Taro just allows him to kind of control the lane for at bare minimum 3 minutes. And now, when you have Aggression looking for these more unorthodox play, look, he's just forcing stuff bottom lane, trying to get Kai and Tango in a position, back into this game. Because right now, there's Aphelios 2, 0, and 3, along with this Thresh, who has his mythic available. Like, I don't even know if you can do this dive, right? There's so much safety. They could turn this around 3v2. Shelly, man,
No
what are you doing?
No way. Quay and Fist say no thank you. They just straight up denied that play. I want to point it out, when you have tried the spot lane so many times, that was just straight out. That was nothing on the rest of Pace. There was no one else in the vicinity. Nitro was not even close. And Quay and Fist, 2 players just held hands and said no.
I mean, it's the absolute cojones from this bot lane. As now, Aggression finally getting a gank down here. But look, Taro just walks it out. Cool guys don't look at explosions, Orbital.
This is, honestly, Pace playing an exceptional game, number 1. We laid it out. ONU coming into this, they look like the stronger team. And yes, on paper, they still do. But in an isolated game, in the isolated window of game number 1, Pace are setting their own song. They are playing to the beat of their own drum, and it started with that early push. It was the early group of 4, netted them 2 kills, and they are moving into this mid game in solid fashion. A 1.5k lead, 2 dragons to their name, 6 kills, with 2 of those being on Quay, unfortunately 2 being on Fist, but opening up opportunities on a Jinx of all things, a hyperscaler that you don't want to allow to get off the ground.
I think the only thing we have to see Pace prove is how are they going to function in a 5v5 setting. We've yet to see the Ornn and the Maokai enter some of these fights. I don't even think Aggression and Kato have really gone into a 4v4, right? These dragons have been hotly uncontested from ONU. They just haven't been able to group. Now, Pace, they have the item lead. I would say they have some of the better champions when it comes into this mid to late game, right? With their items and with how they scale here. So ONU, I'm not going to say it's going to be nothing short of a miracle, but I'm not convinced unless Pace can definitively win a team fight around an objective. That's what I'm waiting for, because I have yet to see any of that happen. And there could be Pace's game plan, right? Never fight around an objective. We'll take 4v4s or 3v3 skirmishes, or we'll go for the man advantage and never allow ONU to group. And that might be really good for them as well, because Victor, a solid split push threat in his own right, as well as Ornn, can just constantly spit the side lane until he's needed. I think for Pace, though, they need to keep the pedal to the metal, keep the nose to the grindstone here. Don't give ONU a chance to come back in here, and that starts with taking this Herald.
Yes, it is, but look at the TP. This is going to be 4 against 5, and that's going to be a jump forward. A quick play out, though, as Aggression gets knocked out. Kato on the weak side and might not fight as well as the 45. Keep in mind, I'll say it again, it's a 4v5, and Owen, you couldn't do anything because of that. In comes Taro. Taro says, get out of my house. In goes the flash pace chasing forward. It's a kill, and Motors will fall as well. They are going to slowly burn it. That's a flash hook fist. Gets them all 3 in the middle. Wild Growth comes up, but it leads to even further death. Kai is going to run for their life. Kai, the Demon King, watches as his underlings fall. Taro is going to tank for the rest of the team, and Nitro finishes it off. That is 4 dead as Pace take a wash of a fight.
Orbital, Pace heard me. They're tuned in. They said, Shibby, you want to see a team fight win? We'll show you one right now. And that was a 4v5 that you mentioned. They were pretty much turning around. They gave more than enough time for Taro to take the turret bottom lane, get an order of Boba, get an order of Taro, and then TP in for that fight to make it a 5v5. And they wiped the floor with ONU. Kato just ineffective on this Ari, taking so long to kill. Finally gets something here. But that team fight from Pace, magnificent, beautiful, really good stalling out from them. And they are looking, like I said, they earned their spot here. And I don't think ONU really understands the gravity of the situation.
I think, you know, there is a point where I say there is something of a skill check, or a stat check, not a skill check. Stat check is my favorite term. When you haven't team fought for a long time, there are points where it's actually very difficult to gauge how close you are in damage or how far away you are in damage. It's the elongated phase of, well, I mean, I think I could beat them. I think I have enough damage. Even experienced players do have a little bit of difficulty doing that, so you need a team fight every so often. The scary thing is when that team fight occurs, you feel like you have the numbers advantage, and you're given that reality check. The fact that you had 5 members on ONU and you weren't able to fight it now means they're into a little bit of desperation. You can now see them. They're trying to rotate. ONU are trying to rotate their bot lane to start basically just force feeding Kai. You're trying to find an opportunity to make sure Kai gets in, because Kai is 0-2. Really needs extra farm to get stronger. And Kato as well. Getting locked out here, but Aggression ready to help out. Ruse says, hey, I'm here, misses out on the R, and that should be a death. A little bit of mistake leads to the mid lane, though. Pace trying to make up ground.
Could get a double charge here. I don't know if Kai and Tango are risky enough to try to contest this right now. I feel like Quay and Nitro could walk this in, considering the bot lane is here. Now Fist is here as well. Yeah, we will get the double charge, potentially even a tier 2 mid. That's a lot of chunk of change going into the pockets of Pace.
Oh, Tango is now dead, but doesn't get blasted past the wall. Oh, that was so
Third charge.
Tango got so lucky, and yes, that is 3 charges down. Now breaking up at the mid lane, just in time for Dragon as well. Keep that in mind. You have now on Pace's side, breaking down 2 towers, you now open up the rest of the map, and it means Aggression is not allowed in their own jungle for free anymore.
Oh no, and that third charge is so devastating, right? The knock-on effect that it will have later into the game. Let's say ONU loses a team fight, or maybe Pace is often willing to give up the 4th dragon potentially to just take mid lane inhibitor. You're nearing that 20-minute mark. Baron is on a timer now. It's gonna be up very soon, and Pace, they're looking very hungry. They might just look to take that in, especially with that mid lane turret so very, very low. They have a plethora of options to rotate around and fake out ONU, while ONU on their side, they've got to try to protect everything, and it feels like everything's kind of falling out of their hands, right? It's like when someone's running with too many things in their hands, or they're just dropping books and papers and everything.
Oh, the PTSD of trying to run to class because you're late because someone blocked you from getting on the bus. This is what it feels like. ONU just were not allowed on the bus. They were kicked off the bus. And now they're trying to make up ground. You can see it. They grouped up 4. They left Kai on their own to try and soak up CS on the other side. And they were able to get a tower back. That is a small increment of gold back. And for the crazy part, with all the fighting that's gone down and how many dragons they've taken as well, it's only a 3K lead. And I say that with all the love in the world. This could be much worse against ONU. They could be, 5, 6K down. The fact that they're only 3K down is not the worst thing in the world. You can see it here mid lane, about 300 gold difference. Jungle seeing about 1K difference. top lane is the one that's actually swinging in favor of ONU, which is quite crazy to think about. And then bot lane about 800. So it's not as drastic of a difference as we might have seen.
Yeah, it's about a half an item up for everybody's aggression. Lets the Cyclone rip, but the Beyblade, unfortunately, is not strong enough.
Gosh.
TP's coming in, Orbital.
Oh my gosh, man, I thought we were going to have a little bit of a chance, but that's going to be a dangerous spot. Kato walks into the wrong neighborhood. The river eats him up. That's going to be a shutdown, though. The turnaround is going to be good. In goes a little bit of the Orin Horn, but the lantern is thrown on the wrong side of the map. Pace gets over the wall, tries to get a shield, but Kai able to bring it back. 2-2-1, flashes over the wall. They're going to fight forward. A hook out of the dash. Aggression is going to try and save Quay, and they do. Triple kill, though, for the Jinx. What a turnaround. What a chance. What a quadra kill. No, a shutdown to Aggression as it's 4-for-1. ONU steal a disgusting march back.
In the blink of an eye, Taro unfortunately unable to join that fight. Yeah, you pick up 600 gold, but the Baron is now going in the favor of ONU, and you said it's only a 3k gold lead. It is slowly but surely shrinking, and with the Baron being taken down, with 3 kills going over to this Jinx, who's now going to be going on to potentially this Rapid Fire or PD, ONU have gotten themselves very firmly back into the game. Don't get me wrong, the gold has just evened up. In the blink of an eye, you've lost everything, Pace.
The only thing ONU could have done better, the only thing that I will be upset at, is Aggression could have handed a 4th over. Could have handed a 4th kill over to Kai, but Aggression earned it. Aggression full on earned that last kill. A ridiculous way to come back, and we said it, right? Going all the way back, I think to like minute 3 or 4, where we were discussing, hey, things are shaking up where Pace is looking strong, but ONU are going to get a reality check. They're going to get a chance, and that was the second reality check of the game. Pace now realized we are in a bit of a desperate situation. You do not have the ornaments up and online. Because of that, you have to be a little bit worrisome. Hook on Aggression, though. They turn it around in the mid lane, and Fizz is going to die to the rocket, but they turn it. Ari is now dead. Kato falls. It's straight of support for mid, and honestly, Pace will take that one.
I mean, the Chaos Storm plus Q coming out from Taro absolutely annihilated Kato's health bar. Yeah, Quay ended up picking up the kill, but that was just more of a last auto in. I'll take that for you. Now Aggression living up to his namesake.
Oh, you gotta get aggressive on this Wukong. You're about 2 items deep. You have the Merc Treads. You're not worried about getting caught up in CS as much. And also, Fist is dead. Fist has been a main reason why this game has gone off the rails or in the early stages. And whenever Fist is dead now, you can see ONU, the confidence exuding from them. They don't even have a whole lot of extra stuff to do here. They just have banners. They're like, screw it. We have wards on the side. No one's going to flank. Orin's on the top side pushing. There is no hook. Take what we can, run it down, and now we back up. So well played.
I love that you highlight that because, yes, you will take the support from mid-trade, but when you take that trade, Kai is just opened up to kind of just barrel down rockets onto turrets, right? He doesn't have the threat of that hook that you mentioned. A flash from Nitro isn't just going to do it here. Fist is so crucial to keeping Kai in check. I think it really goes kind of underseen, right? Because what does the Thresh do? How does a Thresh know not the AD carry? His presence alone, similar to a Blitz holding their hook, Kai has to play around this Thresh, make sure he can't get flash flayed, make sure he can't get hooked out of Fog of War here. But when you take him down, ONU's composition, like you said, he just plays so much more aggressive. Dragon Soul is still on the menu for Pace here. They're walking their way in. You see ONU trying to do something. Ari is nowhere to be seen. Kato walking down, doesn't want to burn the TP here. Both of these guys jockeying for positioning, but I think just by a smidge, Pace have won it with this big beefy Ornn.
Not just that, Tango taken quite low, not able to frontline, not able to take too much. So if a fight's going to break out here, it is on ONU's initiative.
Wow,
Kato jumping forward with a little bit of a Spirit Rush. Quay still trying to clear out wards, and look at the vision difference. The vision, we saw it earlier, thank you so much to our observer. Kai has been phenomenal there, not the player, don't worry. But we are going to watch as Rue tries to step forward, down to about 50%, and that hurts. That's your tank once again. These chunks, this pain coming out is a problem. Aggression now on the other side is in a rust spot. That's going to be a couple rockets going out. In goes the tethers, and that's a rocket. That's a kill. Rue is now dead. In goes a little bit of a charm. Nitro tried to break it open, but that's a mistake by Pace, and now Kai is getting excited. They have won that fight. In goes the Moonlight Vigil, and look at the damage. It comes down. That's going to be the Chaos Storm trying to do work. Will they survive? Will Pace be able to make it? Yes, they do. They take 3 back. Are you freaking kidding me? The turnaround, the lasers, the beams, the damage. It is Pace to win the 3rd major team fight of the game.
Did double lift not teach you anything, ONU? You don't walk into a victor who's kiting you out, who's got the Chaos Storm, who's got the Q ready to go. Pace, even though they are being over-aggressed on ONU, takes more than they can handle, and now the Dragon Soul goes over to them. ONU, I would have been content with the kills. You could have gone for the Dragon. They went for more and get punished heavily. Pace, with the Chemtech Soul, is just going to make themselves even that much more unkillable.
I was sitting there. We saw it, right? We saw the turnaround. We saw Quay and Taro, like a light went off when they saw the funnel. The fact that Kai was in front, greed filled the eyes of ONU. The lead that they have pushed forward is now right back where it was before. It is a deficit of 2.3K, soul not in your pocket. And remember what I said before, ornaments coming online. Rue is now level 13. This Baron in a minute will drastically swing the game, and it's on Pace to decide if they feel like they have to fight or not for it.
Pace is punishing ONU for their sins. Greed is definitely one of them, but now ONU, they're just waiting around. This might be sloth, right? That's one of the sins. My history might be a little bit shoddy here, but now Maokai on this top lane is going to be punished for his greed.
Oh, a little bit of greed going for the wave, and there's not much you can do. Belly slam not really going to land, but it doesn't have to. The slow is there. Tree chopping, it's a little bit of clearing work. Just got to mow down the forest one tree at a time. 3 deaths up there and opening up the entire top side of the map. And Taro with the extended laser. The blast cone brings it home. Taro, get one more laser. Come on, do it. Laser forward. That's going to be the burn, and it takes it. Taro, surprise, surprise. Tango Charlie dead.
Ooh, they might be able to kill this Victor here, though. The TP unadvised.
Oh, man, that one hurts. You thought you had it, and that's a painful lesson to be made. Yes, you're strong, Victor, but you're not 1v2 strong. They knew where that Victor was going to be. Because of that, it's actually ONU that have eaten up a chance. That's going to be the shield broken and actually get the knock up on Kato. Kato does not have Spirit Rush. If they run this, if they get the speed up, if Quay is able to find it, yes it is, Gale Force, they get this kill and open up a Baron on the back end. These picks back and forth, it's going one way or the other. And thankfully Kato is able to live, but Fist got a little bit too far forward. Fist, what were you doing? You were 1v3 against some of the tankiest members. Just as Pace got the Dragon and got the Soul, ONU are finding opportunity to take more of the base.
Quay and the gang here, Pace, are just getting picked and pulled apart here. Bottom lane TP from Victor with no cooldowns available, right? The laser, the storm, the gravity field, we're all down here. That's easy pickings. And once again, ONU have found themselves in a position to take another Baron off of just some weird positioning from Pace right now. Nitro and Rue have something to say about it, but they just have to watch idly by as the Baron gets taken away. Kato on the flank here, ready for anything. And Baron, once again, going over to the ONU. The gold lead has flopped about 5 different times in the past 3 minutes.
You ever seen a seesaw? You ever sat on a seesaw and been equally matched in that way? It goes up and down depending on how hard you kick off the ground. And it feels like that's what the teams are doing. Every so often they get a quick kick. Someone makes a mistake. You kick off the ground, you get a win. It swings in your favor. Someone else finds another pick, or someone makes a mistake, leans too far backward, and all of a sudden it's rocking the other way. This is also the first time that I think we're actually seeing an extensive lead for ONU. Other times it was only about 500 gold. This is a full 1.6k lead, and we have to identify where that's currently going. At this 29-minute mark, we are finally seeing Kai reign supreme in itemization. 1,300 gold, about 1k over their lane opponent. Laser in the mid lane. Taro actually losing out on gold as well. It took a while. But they have slowly slogged their way through, and this is where Pace had to identify that they are no longer in the driver's seat.
I want off this crazy ride, Orbital. Get me off this seesaw. I have vertigo. I'm dizzy. I'm nauseous. ECAC, once again, not disappointing here. If game 1 is going to be anything like this, game 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5 could be absolute bangers here. But ONU, like you said, they've planted their flag in the ground. They know where their bread is buttered. Kai is now on 3 items. Equally so, the ornaments are finally coming in. You see the upgraded Gale Force, and I assume they're going to upgrade the Leandries next here pretty soon. Pace, even though in theory, they're down in gold, actual gold gathered. The ornaments will make up for that, and we probably will see a very even fight. I have a very sneaking suspicion with the extra Chemtech Soul, with the ornaments coming in, this gold lead that ONU has, it's a farce. It's faux pas. It's not even real.
It's all a figment of our imagination, Shivy. It's all just a figment. It's terrifying. And what we're actually looking for now, as the items actually clear out, because most of the champions have already, hit their item breakpoints, 2-3 items is what you're looking at. We're actually looking for level 16s, and that's where I want to draw your attention. You do see Nitro only level 15, Aggression about to be level 16, 16 on Motor, so having that level 3 ultimate. The ADC and support still working off of lower XP, but those I think are going to be the big game changers. These teams have been throwing out ultis left and right just to try and find a catch. You need those cooldowns.
Definitely need some of these CDs here. And like you said, it feels like Pace is a lot more loosey-goosey with how they use some of their big summoner spells, right? Or even their big ultimates. Is now Kato lets it rip. Fist here once again deleted off the map.
It was so quick. Fist, we said, has been so instrumental in getting wins across the board, and now it looks like they might be their demise. The team just has to watch in silence as that second inhibitor falls. It is now 2 open, and guess what? The last inhibitor standing is on the top side. It now means Pace have to deal with waves crashing in, and that means Elder Dragon, ONU, will have first merchant.
Yeah, let's see if they end up flipping it right here. Nitro does have the flash, as Body Slam has a lot to work with here. If I was him, I would be beelining it towards the Elder Dragon right now. There's no way you can fight this Elder Dragon, even with your Dragon Soul, but instead, content on clearing waves. Pace have not been really good at slowing down the game, right? They haven't been able to kind of drag it out. It feels like wherever you look, somebody is getting caught out. And yes, you can commend ONU. Don't get me wrong. Kato has been looking a little bit better on this Ahri, getting out of that early laning phase and some of the mid game. Been able to really get some nice picks with the charms, with the aggression here. But it feels like Pace has not learned their lesson.
Not at all. That's been about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a pick go down, and you can see here, they might be learning now. You can see all the wards going down, just trying to get vision and information. This is Pace now stuck in their own base, and I really want you to keep eyes. Again, Fist and Nitro. These two have been trying to make plays. Rue as well, but I give Rue the benefit of the doubt because they're going to be frontlining. We have not seen Rue hit a phenomenal Call of the Forge God just yet. They haven't had the opportunity, but that's where we want to look. We don't want to see Pace get locked out. Owen, you are going to be looking for it as well. So only time will tell. Inhibitor's now down. Baron coming up in a minute 30, so they want to lock down this last inhibitor side. They want to crack the entirety of Pace's base or win the game right now. That's going to be the Banshee Shield broken, and nothing more of it. No hooks to it.
Taro does have to blow the flash here, so this is the next ensuing fight. As now, if they take this turret down, if they get the inhib here, double super is crashing potentially into Pace's base here right now.
Oh! Remember, that's Elder on the back end. Fist could have died right there. A little bit of extra damage, what, 100 more, and it would have been your death. So that's what's so scary right now.
Yeah, now Kai is excited once again. Look how confident he's playing with Tango Charlie's picks and the E and everything up. He is a turret-destroying machine, and now that lead that was there, the one that Pace had, they were getting all these picks, it's non-existent now. And I'm looking at Quay. He is going to be the difference maker. He has the Infernum. We saw what happened when he did use the ultimate. Now the team fight's coming in.
It's just dead. It's death. And now it's a 4v5. There is no Ornhorn either. And that's going to be the final rocket. You just need another chip. And it does. That's going to be Kai to lock down the Elder Dragon execute. It's a double kill to finish. And now they go even further. That's the Cyclone to break it out and stop them from getting back to their base. The laser works and Quay is able to fight back. And look at this. This is a double. It's a triple for Quay. Are you kidding me, Pace? Stop the end of their game number 1. They look for another Kai, drop very, very low, and the laser is able to get the GA. Kato cannot save their ADC. Kato needs to run, flash out from the Chaos Storm, but there it is. A stasis shield is going to lock down. Taro is going to fall. You try and get another laser. Are you kidding me? No, the auto attack can't do it. They're going down. It's the Q. It's the win. It's the ace for Pace at their base.
At the very last second, Elder runs out. No mana, no attack speed, nothing. And Taro with the cooldowns up, they make the base defense. Quay and Taro, I gotta give it to you. That was an insane insane base defense. ONU once again biting off more than they can chew here, and that's going to open up the Baron. That's potentially going to open up the map here. You still have double supers pushing in, but taking this Baron off the board extends the game even further, and with the GA down, Quay now has a significant item lead.
I hate the fact that we've had 3 or 4 fights where we're like, I swear the game's gonna be over. I swear the game's gonna be over. I swear this game's gonna be over. It's never ending with these guys. We thought Pace were gonna have a lead and then they lose a team fight. ONU, we thought they had the win and then they lose a team fight. Pace, they had 3 get locked out. Oh man, that's gonna be it. Oh man, in the freaking base, there are only 2 Nexus turrets up. Are you freaking kidding me? Pace are fighting for the freaking lives. They're fighting like this is game 3 and they're down 0-2. It's game freaking 1, people. I said don't gas yourselves. You're now going into minute 36.
Orbital giving me PTSD flashbacks of my dad yelling at me at soccer practice and football practice. Like, I told you not to do this. You should have done this. The disappointed father that is Orbital has emerged here. And ONU, you are the eye of his fury right now. Pace being phenomenal at the base defense. I'm going to commend you. I'll be the nice parent here. But ONU, you got to tighten things up. You've got to know what you can and can't do here, because twice in a row you fought into this Aphelios and this Victor and have been punished oh so heavily.
And for right now, you can see the respect now coming out from both squads. They want to do this one by the book. ONU setting up 4-1. They know Kato can roam in nicely. And Quay, with the GA, I think that's going to be the big difference. Remember, Kai's GA was locked down, and now they have to turn it around. Nitro has to go into the stasis. They're not going to go in. Cyclone, they lock him up. Nitro was not able to get the ulti off. That's just a kill. And the Moonlight Vigil does not do enough. Look at that. ONU might be able to do it, but the backline is still alive. Keep eyes on tower. Keep eyes on Quay. They get another lockdown. It's going to be top and jungle killed. And it's a chase of the damage dealers. Pace and Owen, you're doing it. Oh my gosh, Quay. Quay gets an ulti off, gets the entire Gravitum, and they get the kills. Are you kidding me once again? But look at the base. The base is so low. Tango will live with a sliver of HP. And once again, Pace deny the game-ending push.
They are holding strong at the hot gates as Ari ends up getting a shutdown onto the victor here. But Quay, one-man army right now himself, says, you don't want to end the game. I'm going to end it myself. Says, psych, never mind. We've got the Baron. I'm going to go recall as my mid laner has died here. But Pace, they are like the Spartans at the hot gates right now. ONU is throwing everything, bodies, wolves, elephants, whatever you name it. Pace has been holding strong here, and Quay on the max items with the Victor. We talked about the scaling, we talked about the ornaments, and it feels like ONU, even though they kill the front line, they have no way to reach what is this Victor and Aphelios here.
Looking at this now, this is second Elder Dragon. I gotta say, this is ridiculous. By the way, I've never, in so long, it's been years since I last seen it, and we're seeing a second Elder Dragon come out. Fist has to get a body block from the rest of the team to set up. And it looks like they're going to be okay for right now. But I got to ask you, right now, I know the Dragon's up. Who do we see break out here? Who are we going to see get the initial pick off? Come on, Shibby. Come on, predict it for me.
I feel like, once again, Nitro and Rue are going to go down. Kato's going to get a really nice pick, probably with the charm, as Fist has actually just been bullied around at all these fights. But you look at ONU, they've got to look onto Dragon, but Nitro has the E available, has the Smite available. This has to be where the game ends, right, Orbital?
Kato got hooked, and they have to run. Look at the damage. Look at the Infernum. The Infernum rips through the front lines. Pace, are you freaking kidding me? There is no way you do this. In open field, in the open river, you destroy ONU's front line. You destroy their support, and you get the Elder. Not only do you get the Elder, you get all your inhibitors up as well, and you get a lane in the bot side pushing for you.
Yeah, inhibs right now have respawned for top and bottom lane. It's normal minions across the board. I don't know if Pace can push this. Yes, they do have Elder, but they have a good chunk of turrets to go through here. They're going to send it full steam ahead into that bot lane. 18 seconds on Aggression, 20 seconds on Maokai, and 12 seconds on Tango Charlie. Will the two carries for ONU be able to hold the line? It's their turn to play base defense.
They're going to try. Nitro's going to peel them off, but the Sanyas, it works so well. Are you kidding me? Game number 1. Everyone responds. I don't think they can save it. And it's GG. Just shy of 40 minutes. Pace take a singular lead.
Pace with a back and forth, finally, with the Ornn, with the Victor, with the Aphelios. Doesn't matter how bad your early game is. It doesn't matter how many Barons you give Orbital. If you've got the better late game champions, if you're nearly 40 minutes deep into League of Legends, oh yeah, the Aphelios, the Victor, they'll carry eventually, just outvaluing ONU here and sneaking game one away from the Polar Bears.
And I have to say, even though Pace won, the fact that ONU are able to come that close, they had inhibitors down, they were knocking on the there was only one Nexus Tower left. The fact that they can do that with a composition that should have lost all steam at about, I want to say about 30 to 32 minutes, and only the Jinx was really that shining light to have that late game damage, right? It's impressive that they were able to go toe-to-toe and find so many picks. It shows why they are so scary. I can't wait to see what game number 2 brings about. Pace and ONU are giving us a feast for the eyes tonight. Please do not go anywhere. We'll take a short break and get ready for game number 2.
And that's it from Top Plays of the Week from Esports U. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, this is Clutch Key signing off.
I can't say that. I'll get in trouble. There's one for each game, so teams this weekend, somebody's going to have to explain to TSA why they're coming home with an extra trophy. Fine. We're fine. This is going to be great. Why is everybody staring at me? I'm not even doing anything yet. Is it because I'm in a suit? It looks nice. It's new. I'm stressing. It's all right. We win these. We absolutely win these. I've never seen us lose these. I love him. I don't remember his name. What is going on, everybody? And oh, are we ready? I'll start over. Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are here at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup 2022 in Atlanta, Georgia. The players are just now entering the arena for day one. A lot of them had the opportunity to be here yesterday to get jerseys, to get familiar with the area, and to get to know one another. But today, the friendly gloves have to come off, and they are all here. Earlier, I was talking to these guys. This mannequin, when they didn't have anything else set up, I could see it from all the way down there, and I thought it was a person. And I stood there for like 5 minutes, and I was like, why is he standing like that? And I thought it was like a smooth criminal. I thought somebody was giving us like a Michael Jackson impression, and then it was a mannequin. I was really embarrassed to admit that. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Hold on, let's go over this window. It just keeps going. There's so many people outside. There are so many people outside. We're gonna interview people when they come in. I don't really want to go outside. It looks like it's gonna rain, and this suit is new, so. Oh, there's Doc Haskell. Hi, Doc. How are you? He brings a full notebook with him and like writes notes down. It was pretty insane. He had it yesterday. He's gonna be coming through this metal detector right here. I don't know his name though, but I recognize his hair.
Jen.
You Jen? All right, we're gonna interview Jen, who's supporting Kennesaw. I'm gonna ask you a couple of very simple questions. Okay. Are we ready? All right, great. College. I really like Georgia College's color scheme. It's just red, white, and blue, I think, but I think they did it in a really clever way. Mineral area, wearing hoodies, even though it is 75 degrees outside here in Atlanta, Georgia. Absolute legends.
If only Nick could hear you. Nick, come back.
If he's over 100 feet away, he can't.
You were whispering something, and he started smiling. I'm like, are you whispering?
Oh yeah, because he's got his headphone in if we're close enough. But
Bless you.
Gesundheit. Gesundheit again. You're welcome. I'm gonna go find him. Oh, there he is. Oh my. Oh, okay. Real stuff is starting. Real stuff. Competitive integrity needs to be upheld. We gotta get out of here. Yeah, I don't want to get in trouble. I get really embarrassed when I get yelled at. 30 is okay. Wow, it's not 10:30 yet. It's only barely 10. Woo! All right, it's gonna be a long. Hey, what's up? Surprise interview. Join me over here. We have a cool backdrop. What are we here for? Rocket League. Awesome. I'm not going to ask what school you go to because unless you swapped hoodies, that seems pretty clear.
No, you know, I got my jersey on with my name on it.
Oh, you do? Show us your jersey. Look at John T. Turbo here. Yeah, that's not his name. I just keep calling him that. Yeah. His name is John, but
my name is John Turbesi.
Yeah, that's not John T. Turbo.
Yeah, I get the message that I'm going to Nebraska where I met you.
Oh, that's so crazy. So context, if we're probably never going to use this, but we're going to talk about it. Turbo and I met at a LAN like over a year ago. That's so crazy. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. I am Sebdolence, joined by a man I have interviewed probably well over 10 times. It's going to be my good friend Neb, here from Bay State Overwatch team. Neb looked at me before he started his last series, and he said, we are not dropping a map for the rest of the day. And so far, he has lived up to that title. But Neb, is there anybody you're thinking, we've got to get them out of the way, we've got to take them down?
No.
No? Just looking at it, each fight's its own, every game, going into it, just taking it as it comes?
I have the confidence right now that we're not going to drop a single map.
I love Neb because not only is he confident, but he's correct. Bay State is one of the best Overwatch teams I've ever seen. So it's always good to hear. I love the confidence, and I love Bay State, so I hope they do a great job this weekend. So what qualifier, did you win a qualifier to get here?
At-large bid.
We're looking at Rocket League, we're thinking high odds, low odds, where do we think we're walking away?
I think pretty high. I think we're doing pretty good.
Is there anybody that you're looking at, you're like, please do not let us go up against them unless we absolutely have to?
I mean, really, everybody's good competition, so.
And sorry, what was your name?
Ethan.
Ethan from Mineral area.
Yep.
Very exciting. Well, Ethan, good luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. What kind of pass? A player pass?
Let me get you on here.
No, you actually have to like tape it to your chest, like really awkwardly with masking tape. Okay. And it's gonna fall off. Yeah. It's gonna be uncomfortable, I promise. That's a guarantee. Okay, cut that, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, good. I'm great, everything's good.
Who do we interview? Who should we interview?
I don't know, I'm just here. I need caffeine.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Top Plays of the Week. I am Septilance, and I'm super excited to walk through these with you so you can see all of the great moments we are getting out of collegiate esports. One of my favorite things about these seasons is as they go on, as the years continue to pass, the skill ceiling just gets higher and higher, and the teams get better and better. Starting things off in week 1 and 2, these teams came out the gate swinging. Let's take a look at what they were ready to bring out in these early weeks. Valorant is a game all about risk versus reward, and Sin from NYIT wanted to show us just how much he was willing to risk to get that great reward of a round win.
Sort of forced to pop off, maybe get a little bit more sniper play, but these direct, tight angles make it tough. You have Axeris that actually gets a wallbang headshot onto Prime. Oh, that timing on the paranoia works so well.
Yo, give it up for the util, bro. Sin's gonna pick up 3 into the site. It's a lurk on its way from the chamber, but unless you're going to spam through this box, you're not getting anything done, and Panda won't even let him get that far.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a game that can be decided in milliseconds, and Waka, one of the best players from SUNY Canton A Squad, wanted to show us just what they can do with only a second and a single stock on the board.
Cena, Sledge option going to be charging forward smash, going a little early. They're not quite getting what you want. Drop shield after first hit, and pick getting hit by the kid. High percent. There is the stun into Claw. That clock has been charged for a lot longer. Oh my goodness, that's a forwarder into stage with the stage spike and then upping immediately after. What a sick.
1 point in Rocket League can never make a team feel comfortable, but Driftsy wanted to show us that not only was he going to pick the pace up, but he wasn't going to let his team down.
Defensive test with flying colors, though they couldn't get out, and that is the important part at the moment. Clears a must for UA, and it's just not in the cards at the moment.
Dripsy connects off the backboard. What a shot. I watched it unfold slowly. You stopped speaking at just the right moment.
Valorant is often called a team-based shooter, but sometimes it can't just be about the team. Sometimes you gotta have those hero plays. Spec wanted to spray and pray and was actually able to save the day for SVSU, tying up the series 7-7.
Hard B push here, 2 Omen smokes coming out. 1, oh, Spec
Oh
just
my
finds 3.
What?
Straight through the smoke. Oh, what, Spec? That's not legal, man. That's not legal. This is match day 2 of the ECAC League. You can't be doing that right now. Spec just goes with the call.
Here in this clip, Fanshawe finds themselves with their backs against the wall, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're desperate to take down Wake Forest. They don't have anything to get through this team, they don't have any weapons on the field, but with Jackie Moon in the wings, at least they had a sniper.
Apparently. Guys gonna believe all the shots. Oh, a sniper! Jackie Moon from about midway through. What a shot right here from Jackie.
Wow, good eye sniper. Yes, sir. Jackie Moon puts us on the right side. A little bit more to the left. This one would have been...
Here in this clip, we're going to get a great moment from a Pac-Man, and as a Pac-Man player, I was super excited to see it. We're going to hear a lot of praise from our commentators giving Mosey those compliments of choosing Snake against Pac-Man, a great counter pick. They were super excited to see a Snake on the field, but even without their blessing, Trollery does not yield.
Approach, but like you said, he's trying to play this safe because losing his stock right now for Concord would be really bad, and, well, a little bit of commentator's curse there. We kind of willed that one into existence. Oh, man. Oh my goodness! What?
Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Septilance, how could that be all we got from weeks number 1 and 2? Please tell me there's more. If you like what you saw, you've got to go check out ECAC Esports on all social media platforms. Please see what they're bringing to the table. It is great collegiate esports week after week. And on the bright side, folks, this is just the beginning. We've got the whole rest of what is guaranteed to be a great season ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining me for this recap, and I'll see you on the next one.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big
is that we don't have these preconceived notions, and we're willing to listen to our membership and read the room, read college athletics and how it's connected and how it's not, and take what we have expertise in championships, but also throw out some of the other stuff. I remember when we first started, there were some conferences were applying their amateurism rules to all of their esports competitors, and I think we knew enough to know that no, that's not going to work in an esports culture. It's got to be very different. And by the way, the NCAA was going in a different direction. You could see that Train had already left the station on that, and so it's an incredibly dynamic area and ever changing, and will continue to change. And just as we didn't know when we started what it's going to be looking like, I think similarly we still don't know what it's going to be in another 5 years. I know enough to know that all of us are still going to have a thriving esports program that's doing a real good service for our members and for our competitors. But we still don't know necessarily what some of that is going to look like, and that's pretty cool about it all. Let me ask you this, because you all are used to dealing with your athletic directors, and each of them are dealing with what's in front of them in their athletic departments. My guess is at least some of your schools are that this is not necessarily operating within the athletic department. And can you talk about how you navigate that in a conference office, and maybe the best way to handle that, or do you have preferences? Do you try to steer them one way or the other? And just talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. The majority of our schools are
I have a few words about game 2 or game 1, and they are thrilling, exciting, and a toss-up, because that game was so many different things that were so exciting to bring it about. That these teams are scrappy. Pace brought out a ridiculous late game showing. ONU showed their own stuff, but we got to get past it. We are going now into game number 2, and ONU, after losing game 1, said something's got to change, and it ain't going to be the draft.
Yep, they've brought the varsity squad in here. They had 3 members in originally, Aggression, Kai, and Kato. But now, after feeling what Pace can do, they've been bullied out. It's like when your big brother comes and beats the bully up for you. Cuz and Vitarum are in for game 2 here. And last week, they had a near perfect game with this roster. It is almost like some cheat codes have been enabled for ONU. This 5-man roster has played extensively together for this whole year. They are a different team. The ONU that you saw in game 1, throw it out of your head, because the well-oiled machine that is about to come in for game 2 is definitely going to throw Pace off just a little bit here. But like I said, Pace earned where they're supposed to be, Orbital, and if they can still rely on this mid lane and bottom lane to carry with Taro and Quay, if they get something late game like that, if they get something very high scaling, high damagey, they could still easily take this. It is not over just because the varsity squad came in. Pace have the wind beneath their wings. They've got every momentum in the world going for them right now. And they take away Wiederum's gangplank, smartly so.
Yes, and another one that you pointed out rightly so, which I want to keep our eyes on throughout this draft, is going to be that bot side Cuz and Kai coming in here. Bot lane was one of the few lanes that got a little bit out of control. I say that not that it got kill heavy, but the fact that Quay and Fizz had a solid time and Fizz getting so many hooks in that game was one of the big turning points on why Pace were able to carry forward. That's one of the big reasons that we saw Pace get an extensive lead. So Cuz coming in here, gonna try and make a difference and cause a little bit of a disturbance. Syndra also banned out. This is appropriate. Again, Kato, you do not want to let that Syndra go the way of Ohio Northern. Malphite, though, quite surprisingly, is that proper ban. I guess is the best way to put it. It's we don't want to give it. And the Gragas, respect coming out.
Yeah, I mean, Nitro here on the Gragas has some really nice early flash engages with the body slam. His barrel usage was really, really good. You saw how he used it to isolate and bump individuals back from Ohio Northern into his team here as Rakan and Syndra being taken away. The respect on Cuz, the respect on Kato, rightfully so here, but ONU with their last ban. Do they take the Victor away? Do they take the Aphelios away? We saw Pace lock in Aphelios B1 for themselves here. And just for a little bit of insight, ONU, they lost game 1, so they had side selection. They opted in to take red side once again.
Yeah, and these are drastically different bans that we saw in game number 1. So keep in mind, in game number 1, the Pace actually banned out the Udyr and the Milio, meaning those are 2 high-priority champions that are now back on the board. And remember, because it was Pace that banned it, they are not going to be running those 2 champions. It is still the Aphelios hovered and locked in. On the flip side for ONU, they banned out Nunu and Akali. They were a little bit different, and we are curious as to whether or not those would be standard and staying. But no, they swapped it out instead. So ONU opting and saying, okay, the bot lane, it wasn't out of control. So we're going to go with that Jinx once again. And Jinx, of course, was one of the reasons that the game got so close.
Jinx kept ONU, like you said, into the game. Kai really showed his stuff on this pick here as Udyr. It's here in Orbital. My favorite champion has been locked onto the Rift here. Big Dad Bod Udyr locked in for aggression. This guy made his name in the MEC with this pick. He was a massive, massive carry threat on this pick. It was pretty much permabanned here as the Volley Bear gets locked in. Freljord for Freljord gods.
I haven't seen that in quite some time, by the way, or I haven't seen it pulled off successfully is the best way to put it. But Pace are locked back into that Aphelios Thresh bot lane. I don't dislike it. That lane, again, Fizz was a solid player in the early mid. And I say that because Fizz did get caught out multiple times in game number 1. That's what's scary. And now you have another issue. 2 champions banned in game 1, 2 champions picked up in game 2.
Milio coming in hot here. The team-wide cleanse, the range extension is absolutely disgusting. We've heard whispers of the Milio Lucian lane being absolutely dominant, but he also pairs up very, very well with the longest range of ADCs. It's really weird, the spectrum of Milio, right? Pairs up phenomenal with very, very short range ADCs. Lucian, Vayne, all this stuff. And then also does exceptionally well with the longest range, right? Caitlyn, Jinx, Kog'Maw, right? Just makes them so much more oppressive. The rockets plus rapid fire cannon plus melee range. She can be literally hitting you from a screen and a half away, and you can't do anything about it here. The team-wide cleanse is nice, as you know, Fist has been very good on these hooks. Also, the gravitums from Quay have been really, really nice here. So it just allows you to kind of go with a double cleanse necessarily for ONU's bot lane here. Ahri once again picked up for Kato. Blind this time around. It looks like they're just going to lock a safe counter pick for their top lane here. I wasn't in love with the early game Ahri, but it was putting in work when it got to that late game area. And it was just singling Fist out every single time.
I don't think it was great as a counter in the R5. I think that's the only thing I could really say there. If you're going to put R5, you want a little bit more power, so I like this call. And I'm very sad because my boy Veigar, you got your Udyr. I don't get my Veigar. I'm salty. I'm salty about that. I want my Veigar. But it was 4 mid lane bans, which is why we saw Kato go ahead and try and grab that Ahri as soon as possible. But Quay gets a solid one as well. The Silas coming in here, and then following up behind is going to be that Ornn once again. Rue had an okay time with it. Granted, the Call of the Forge Gods were not exceptional, and I do want to see that cleaned up for this game number 2. But it's a solid front line once again. Pace has set themselves up for, once again, that powerhouse front-to-back composition that Ohio North are going to have to try and fight around.
And the Silas pick is pretty interesting, as we're going to see potentially Aatrox locked in for a Wiederum here. Pretty popular pick into the Ornn. We've kind of seen it as a soft counter, right? Really nice laning phase for himself. Can really get a lot of that sweet spot Qs in because of how rigid Ornn's movement is. I don't love the Silas here. There's not really a plethora of ultimates that he can steal that he can make good use out of. Realistically, he's stealing Ahri most of the time. Situationally, yeah, you could pick the Emilio and provide your team that safety. But what Silas does, his main thing that he's really good at is taking what you do and just doing it better, right? Malphite, obviously, he takes that ultimate very well. Ahri is really good for himself because he can move around and he has a lot of mobility similar to Ahri with that new E, right, or the current E, right, where he can kind of chain onto you, dash, and everything like that. But he's not going to be stealing a World Ender. He's not realistically going to be stealing the Udyr ultimate. Yeah, you can take a Jinx Rocket, but I think, unfortunately, this Silas is going to be neutered to really stealing 2 ultimates majority of the game here. Don't know how much impact he's going to have. Taro, we saw him on the Victor. It got banned out, like you said, in the round 2 of bans here. So now he's playing, a more early game focused champion. And I feel like Kato with the Ahri will have more lane control.
I could agree with that one, and we'll have to see if it pans out because we are into game number 2. The teams are ready to go. And we're already seeing some difference here. It is the full-on push from ONU. They want to get some aggression, and that's a call down. They see the roam in, and Taro's about to eat a big jump, flashes over the wall. That's some quick thinking. I'm amazed Kato didn't actually work with the charm. So you know what? You only lose the flash, and that's a worthwhile trade for your life.
Yeah, I think starting charm here for Kato would have been a little bit troublesome. He loses kind of that lane pressure that you usually get. Because he started W, the moment Taro walks up for CS or gets even remotely close, she pops the W, gets the move speed, is able to effectively trade without really taking any damage from Taro here on the Silas. Really nice start. Also getting that flash out. He has to flash. He's not able to get out here because of the way he went into mid lane. Even without the CC, he wouldn't have been able to walk it out. So nice flash from him. But now aggression on this Udyr. I'm expecting a visit into this mid lane within the next couple minutes.
This is going to be quite fun to see. Quite interesting to see, as well as Kato, after getting that flash out of Taro, said, hey, it's time to get some wards down, and this is to keep track of Nitro, which Nitro in game number 1 also had some interesting moments. The main thing that I wanted to see is, again, Nitro not get caught as well, have a little bit of a bulkier time, and keeping eyes on that will allow aggression to roam a little bit heavier. Remember, they match pretty much blow for blow in the early stages. We did see Nitro have a bit better time in the first 2 ganks, but with aggression understanding, hey, those Raptors are not being taken just yet, we will be okay to push on the bot side.
And Vidorum against this Aatrox. Just going to kind of get these sweet spots in, trading pretty aggressively. There's not much Ornn can do early on. Is that we see Vidorum get to level 2, and he's just bullying out the Ornn. You see why this is such a rough matchup for him to be able to pick up some minions here. But Vidorum with a stacked Conqueror, I don't even know if Nitro wants to go in on this. Vidorum potentially could turn this.
They need level 2. Pace needs to get level 2, and there it is. You do stop that blow. You're going to try and turn it, but it's a great game. That's going to be electricity coming down. More shocks, but I think Wiederum gets away. Flash for flash, though. And that's going to be a good draw after clearing the top side. Rue allowed an opportunity to finally get some CS.
The pressure is off just a little bit here. Vidorum cannot actually play as aggressive anymore. With his flash down, he can't just leave that lane up at that like 70% mark for Pace to where it's past that river vision. Because Kato should be fine here. Nitro does get a reset on the Q though.
It's a little bit of a damage dealer, and honestly, that's the cool thing about this time around. Nitro, remember in game number 1, the Gragas couldn't really eat tower shots at the early stages. Nitro's able to do that at level 3. Feels kind of good.
Yeah, and when he gets level 6, he completely shuts them down. And now aggression finds Nitro in the bush.
Oh, and even then, aggression actually eats most of that damage, so that's quite surprising. And aggression has to run away, but it's not about the damage, it's not about the kill, it's just getting that scuttle.
Yeah, and really, Aggression unfortunately wasn't able to shield. He's level 3, or now he's level 4 after full clearing here, but he wasn't able to shield that damage from the Storm, the Storm that comes out from Volibear, his E. And that thing, base level 1, does an absurd amount of damage, Orbital. And if he puts a couple points into it, if he builds a little bit of AP, is now Aggression. He's going to get caught out here.
Oh no, this is all over again. Aggression gets locked out. That's the root. Oh, but it's a slap fist. Kind of bumps Aggression on the back of the head. And that's a scary one to have. The Udyr that they picked up draws first blood.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he even opted in to got aggressive there. They weren't even pushed up, and now Kai and Cuz, because of that blunder, have to just leave the lane. Nitro's just going to walk them away. So you know what? If you want to touch the wave, if you want to get EXP, you're going to have to fight through this. And now, finally being able to walk back here, that little bit of pressure, that kill that Pace got here is on the Thresh, don't get me wrong, but it just allows a lot of the lanes to breathe, right? The Silas, the Ornn, lets them play a little bit aggressive. The Death Sentence just land, but Cuz happily will tank it.
Not just will they take it, but they're going to say, hey, we know what you're trying to do. Once again, bullying on this bot side, we are going to fight it, but because of the clear, they know Nitro's recalling, and they're going to get a chance at this dragon.
They stopped it.
But the Zap, is that going to turn around? Nitro should have an idea now. Because Kai roamed up, it's a good idea that the dragon is being taken. Yeah, they ping it out. They know what's happening. I don't think you can stop it. There isn't really going to be a chance here. It's down to about 2K. You're going to let it go. It's only one. It's only one, but ONU with the great macro.
Yeah, they understand that the item advantage is for Aggression, though I don't know if I agree with the Raw Giant's Belt pickup. Obviously, he's opting in for the Demonic Embrace. Typically, what you'll see instead from Udyr's is they'll back off the gold they get. They'll get boots. They'll get not a Doran's ring, sorry, a Dark Seal, and then they'll look to kind of stack that up because it works so well early on for these AP junglers. Instead, valuing the health, valuing the stickiness of this Udyr allows him to tank that dragon. And yeah, he did die, but they get a nice little ocean dragon for themselves early on, which is going to pay dividends going forward.
I think that's mainly in that top side as well. Vidoram is going to be real happy about that one. And we can see here, Taro in the mid lane is going to be a chance. They're actually going to dive it. I'm not too sure about that one. Taro dove in with about 200 HP, and Kato's like, cool, thanks, bet.
Kato had the charm ready to go, right? The moment Taro went in, the charm went out. Unfortunately, even with the stolen ultimate, Silas couldn't move, gets the damage, the Q in, Q return, gets the kill here. Nitro has to leave, and now Vidoram just dives the Ornn under his turret, solo killing him. Brother, it is 40 to 20 CS nearly for Vidoram and Rue here. The counter pick coming out, the varsity squad coming in saying, you know what? You got game one, Pace, but we're not going to let that happen again.
It was one of the things that went on. Vidoram was a mainstay in their previous series as well, so this one, it makes sense. It makes sense that this would shake up, and Rue at the same time, this top side was extremely quiet in game number one as well. It was not until about the 14-15 minute mark that we saw things break out, and we had some big questions, so it's appropriate. What we are going to want to see, though, is Pace identifying this factor. They need to identify that top side and mid are not going the same way as before. They have not found the original kills that they did in game number one, and they need to be on the lookout for ONU to be playing different angles, especially number one is Kato most likely roaming out of lane here in the next, I want to say 3 to 4 minutes.
Kato has a little bit of extra control in this lane now. A blue buff has not been donated over to Taro. So he's like, all right, finally I can lane. I can shove him in as Taro and Nitro. They're just trying to force it so much here. And Kato smartly playing back into the lane here. Aggression allowed to do as he pleases. Has got himself a nice little camp lead. Top lane is in the lead. Mid lane is in the lead. Pretty much everybody on ONU's side through mechanical prowess and CSing have gotten themselves to a 2,000 gold lead overall.
It's been a run for them. They've looked so good, and I mean, stark differences from game number one. Even guys joining in the mid lane just because, I mean, there's nowhere else to go. Might as well, as we do see Aggression now taking the second objective on the map pretty much off the spawn. And this is appreciative. Remember last time they had to trade it out, Pace were able to stack the dragons extremely quickly. And for this one, I mean, Pace just kind of have to let it go. You can see the collapse in by Cousin Wiederman. This is power. ONU back on form, back to being bullies, and back to being real freaking annoying. Oh, the charm even in the mid lane. Taro just not having a good day.
And we have yet to see this bot lane kind of pop off, right? Cousin Kai with this Mulio. I'm expecting some absolutely insane ultimates coming out because the CC is very, very predictable, right? The hook, the death sentence, the gravitum, right? Nitro. There's not a lot of CC that isn't uncleansable on the side of Pace here other than maybe a knockup as Cuz... Uh-oh, I may have jinxed him.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of healing on the back side, and you see that they weren't expecting it. Quay taking quite low. That's the final auto side coming in. Quay can't lifesteal fast enough. And guess who comes in? Aggression is going to be handed the kill. I don't even think they're going to get one back. The shields are just too much. The rocket finishes it off, and you grab 2 on the bot side. Yes, you trade your ADC, but Aggression grabs the kill up, and ONU pay a huge, huge boon on Pace.
Yeah, Pace got a little too aggressive here. The death sentence land, but that Milio just allowing this Jinx to survive so long. You look at Pace, man, he's not even allowed to touch the wave. He's just gonna only look as Vito's just gonna dive him again, Orbital.
There ain't no way to stop him, but you get the knockup. No way. No way. Rue gets the outplay. You know what? After what happened bot lane, you needed that.
Rue says worth, hits him with the question mark in chat right now. Really, really well played from the Orange. Saw the dive coming. Maybe he was baiting, right? Maybe that was the biggest brain play of all. Get yourself low enough, stack the CC onto the Aatrox, and just let the turret do the work here. Ornn has now evened up the kill score. Yes, he's still down in CS, but that's a nice little victory for yourself in that top lane. And Vitorum is going to have to play a little bit more cautiously because Rue has definitely got the hands.
You know what? You can say that all you want, but dropping down to about 150 HP and losing your flash, I don't call that an outplay. I call that an opportunity grasp. And you know what? You needed it. Drawing it more to a 50-50 means that in this top side, you will not have any sort of help. This dragon now being taken will be a 4v4. Take a look at Taro off on the flank with the Spirit Rush, and especially with Infernal, Aggression does not want to give this one up. Neither side really has any extra on that smite, so it's going to be a smite fight at 900. Who gets it? That's going to be a slap and a steal. Are you kidding me? Aggression wins it out, and yes, the bear can try and do so much, but it's not going to be there. What a play. Aggression faster on the fingers at 900.
Gets the kill, gets the dragon as well. A bear and a dragon secured on the side of ONU, and this is the varsity squad coming into full effect here. They are now 4,000 gold nearly ahead of Pace at the 11.5-minute mark, and everybody is doing fantastic for ONU. The jungler, the mid laner, the AD carry is Kato quietly just walking Taro down right now with the red buff.
Oh, so low. Kingslayer ain't gonna do anything for you there.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough lane. We talked about how Silas is gonna have a tough time. Is there aggression going in once again? The rocket.
Oh, downtown 3 points, almost 4. Disgusting shot here as Kai is back on board.
Very, very good. Huge, super, mega death rocket coming out. Picks up the kill. Now Vitorum, once again, he's going to try his hand to kill Rue here.
I mean, you're okay with that. You knew what was happening.
Take those.
You don't have to win that top side. You already won. You're 30 CS up. You don't have to care. Bot side is really what you're doing. You're ensuring that Pace have to stay in their designated lanes. As one of the lanes just falters, ONU now have an extensive lead. Remember, one of the highest gold leads that we saw in game number 1 was only about 2K, and it fluctuated extremely hard. It was, you know, between 2 to 3K, down to 1K, up on the other side. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We are now seeing a 5 to 6K lead in favor of ONU at just 13 minutes.
It is looking very rough for Pace at the moment. Not going similar to game 1 here where they were back and forth, back and forth. There was a leads given here and there. We've still got a lot of league to play, don't get me wrong. And if ONU has shown me anything, they've shown me that they can get very over-aggressive and maybe int a little bit for some kills here. So if it falls into the right hands, if Pace is there to catch the throw, there is still a really good, solid argument to be made. As Kato, though, is just bursting out Quay here, and I don't know how much he's going to get.
I mean, you can try and heal up. You do have that Severum, but you're still going to fall. It's 2v1 Cuz able to help out Kato, and that's just an unfortunate situation. You're able to turn it around on the top side, but not without some punishment here. Quite close. Rue and Nitro taken down below a quarter each.
Had the Severum, unfortunately didn't have the Calibrum there or any other, the white gun as well. Had the Infernum, so wasn't able to get that crazy, red and white don't fight, Chakrams coming out, Lifesteal coming in. He actually almost turned it around, which is a pretty good for Quay at the end of the day, because this Aphelios was one of the primary carries for Pace in that game one, and if he can get to that itemization, late game point that we saw, he just outvalues the Jinx.
He really does. It's just too good. It's just too good. Fist, though. This is the second time Fist has done something like this, at least in a single series that I've seen, and that's going to be a hook over the wall. Hey, you landed it, and you do get some revenge, so Fist saying, hey, Orby, I heard you talking smack. Let me show you how it's done. The ultimate bait of your life.
Nice hook, though, right? Both of them landing onto him. I think Kai didn't expect Fist to hook again after he was so low. As Nitro, though, he's going to have to ult out, and Volibear is a champion. Orbital does some things, but just is not able to do too much as Kato goes in.
Yes, that is going to be a nice jump. Nitro got a little bit over-aggressive, and because so, you have now put your team into an awkward position. You tried to be greedy, you tried to go for the Herald, but you lose out on HP on both ends, which now gives Aggression a chance to come back and take yet another global objective over.
Aggression now starting this Herald, the second one of the game. The first one, if you recall, got popped in the bot lane, was able to get a turret and a half there. Really unlocked Kai and Cuz from this bottom lane onto the rest of the map here. And you look, objective bounties have started, Orbital, and Pace, if anything, has rung a bell. When the objective bounties start, that means you are like really losing, right? It's not just, hey, we're down a little bit of gold. It's like, oh, we're down quite a bit.
It's the that's how far down we are. Look at that. You can see it in the gold there. In the mid lane, we see one of the largest singular leads that I think we've seen all series. That's about 2.6k. I think 2.7. Top side, we're seeing a difference of about 1.4. And it's above 500 just about everywhere you look, even in the support role. That's how rough this one is.
It doesn't even feel like Kato was doing anything too crazy in the mid lane. Was able to pick up some kills, CS very, very well, and has kind of neutered this Silas, who has now picked up a Roa, don't get me wrong, but he's only 3 stacks in. He's got a lot of time to scale, and look at the ultimates. Look at what he can steal. He's got to steal the Ahri ultimate to get away from ONU. That is rough. The Rift Herald gets popped in the bot lane. That is simply a distraction. Avert your eyes. Pocket sand be damned. ONU are going to take the Hex Tech Dragon, put themselves on Soul Point, and guarantee themselves a bare minimum 22-minute Dragon Soul.
Oh my gosh, or at least a chance at it, right? We don't know if Pace are going to try and throw something at it, because they've been very passive when it comes to re-aggressing. Aggression has been all over the place, but Nitro has honestly not been willing to try and sacrifice their life for some of these moments, has not tried to turn things around in a heavy-handed manner. And it's kind of rough in the scenario that you are playing a Volibear. That's your one job. It's kind of go in and make space, create options, and you haven't had that chance. It's 2-1-1 on the volley. You are now tied in most kills with your Thresh. Your mid is 0-1-0, trying to stack up a Rod of Ages, but everything about Pace signals that they're not willing to aggress, which has allowed ONU to just push the envelope every time and be unchecked during the entire scenario as well. Even now, look at this, the dive. You have to scatter as quick as possible. There's no chance at re-aggression.
That would have hit if Fist wasn't in the way here. As Vitarum is going to try to 1v2 with the World Eater activated.
Yes, they are, and look at the healing. That's going to be a 2-man slam, and I'm not sure if they can fully fight it out. The electricity ain't going to land, and Vitarum is over the wall. So for how much pressure they put up top, Vitamin's just like, I'm chilling. I don't know what you guys are doing.
And sorry, not World Eater, World Ender, although World Eater kind of sounds a little bit cooler.
You're thinking Baron there or something, I
think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, no. This is the World Eater. When the entire team TP's in and eats up the opponent. Look at this. This is rude. Kato wants to get over that wall. The speed up should be good. A little bit of a tag on the orb. But, I mean, the charm lands. Easy double kill.
Lantern not far enough here. That might be the game ender, or the game eater there for ONU here. Baron is going to be up in about a minute and a half, so they can't take that just yet. But you have to realize as well, ONU did a fantastic job just not allowing Nitro to do the one thing he's good at, setting up dives, turning off turrets. They literally accelerated the pace of the game with the heralds, with the roaming. They never put themselves in a position to get dove, right? They never put themselves in a position for Volibear to use the max amount of his abilities here. I don't think I saw Volibear ult once into the team, nor did it set up a dive here. You've effectively reduced that champion to a stun bot, and at that point, whatever he does, Udyr just does 10 times better.
I would like to point out, you are statistically wrong. There was one moment where Nitro tried to do it while we see Viderman run down Taro. This is gonna be a kill. It was at the first dragon. It was at the very first dragon that went down, and there was a lot of pain to be had. Are you kidding me? No. Okay, Taro goes down. I was like, there's no way you get out from this one. Ryu came in to try and help out as well. But yes, Nitro, he tried to ult after losing dragon, and mid-ult got killed. That's the only time he ulted in the team. It feels really bad. But we are now seeing Viderman just be a menace, a bully, a destructive force, forcing Nitro away from his own team.
Isn't that the moniker to have, a destructive force in the top lane here? Very, very well played from ONU across the board. And it feels like I said, it was a different team. The ONU from game one, scratch that out of your memory, because now they're 10,000 gold ahead, and they're just taking a raw fight in the mid lane, but Quay!
Oh, that's a turnaround that you like to see. Nitro gonna try and go forward as well, but you don't get much. Still, kill to Quay as a kill to Viderman as Rue falls once again. As soon as you get something, you lose something on the other side. Taro able to get the consolation prize, but you still lose mid overall. So you know what? It's still about an 11k lead for ONU. They're slowly trying to choke out the space. Oh no.
Cuz questioning Kato.
No.
Nitro. You're gone.
Yeah, you know you're kind of dead. That's just a slow melting pot. Look at that. It's so good.
Your impending doom right before your eyes, just watching slowly as you're just getting like abilities thrown at you, like I can't even do anything here. Death by 1,000 cuts, and now we're at a 12,000 gold lead for ONU here. Baron finally up. It's 21 minutes in, Orbital. This ONU is looking mighty different. Varsity squad is in, and they're playing like varsity players.
They're like, look, game one was an anomaly. We heard you guys talking up pace, and we had to put those fears to rest. And for pace, it's now on them to step up. And this one in the next game, because as much as I want to say it, the composition doesn't yield itself once again. We talked about in game number one how the composition of ONU kind of fell apart in the late game. They didn't have some late game power, but this one feels like they have all the late game power. This is Aatrox Viderman, by the way, who quite honestly is going to sustain over 3.
That's drinker.
Ridiculous. When we talked about this, we said, hey, what's going to happen? This is all they have to do. Look at that. 10 seconds, 15 seconds of fighting. The rest of the team is now here. ONU gets a rundown. 2 more champions. A long lantern will keep Tara alive, and a quick dash out from the rocket. But needless to say, Fist is going to be slowed. Fist has nothing left in the tank and will have to pay for their transgressions. Yes, the dragon is taken, but honestly, ONU, they're okay with it.
Kai shaking his fist angrily at his team, like, why didn't you help me get the dragon? We would have had Dragon Soul, Hextech Soul, though, with Baron pushing down onto that bottom lane. Root is down, Fist is down. I'm going to be surprised if they look for this game-ending push at the moment. Kai is down, though. I don't know if they can do it, but they're definitely going to go for it. It's ONU.
I mean, I think they can. Viderman taking quite low, and that's actually going to be the burn. So, hey, I am mistaken. Yes, Dragon got stolen away, but it's only the first Dragon for pace. They can go again. ONU can go again in about 4 minutes, 20 seconds. But that's a hard push. Bot side now open at just 23 minutes. It means that ONU now have excessive control over this Baron side whenever it decides to come up.
Yeah, ONU lose their main turret-taking machine in this Jinx. So they tried to go for it. They tried to go for a Nexus. Unfortunately, Quay and the rest of Pace, experienced in base defense here, are able to single somebody out, understand that, hey, this guy is taking turret, he's really, really low, let me get some kills here. Don't know if it's going to be enough. The rod is fully stacked along with the Shadow Flame, so Silas is pretty strong. If he can jump onto Kai, if he can jump potentially onto Kato, who doesn't have the, if he doesn't have the spell shield available, might be able to pick up some kills here. But you just look across the board, across the items, right? It's nearly a 1 to 2 item lead. You look at Kato, he's 2 items up on Taro here. He's got the pages in his book. He's got the Banshees. He's got the Horizon Focus. He's got a really cool build going on right now. And Kato is just going to be able to burst Quay out potentially.
I mean, Quay was a chance, but they'll just settle for the tank. Look at that. Rue is melting. Rue is just a big block of cheese over a burning fire right now. There's nothing that you can do. Taro is also getting sliced up like Swiss cheese. This is a brutal selecting. The bruisers of this squad are doing so much work mid lane. Now getting knocked down. ONU say revenge for game number 1. We went the distance. We went almost 40 minutes. And we don't want to see that again. Game number 2 firmly in their back pocket as Topside is looking to crash as well.
It's not looking good for Pace here. Orbital right now. ONU, I gotta chase them down.
Oh, Milio enabling that last shot. That is rude. Kai just says, give me another kill. Only had 3 throughout this game, but very impactful ones. Now the top side inhibitor falls. It is going to be a decimating base push. Final fight coming out here. Moonlight Vigil lands, but it is not going to be enough. Look at the burn. Viderman being the tanky front side. Rue just came back up and is now going to die once again. The tower does some work, though, and deletes Jinx and Aatrox for him. So, hey, Pace might be able to defend once again. And in they go. Taro watches as the enemy team scatters, and the turnaround is going to be strong. But Aggression says, hey, I don't think we can really fight this. The burn is not yet strong enough. And it's a 4v3. So, a little bit of a turnaround. They're going to try and fight forward. Hook does not land. But look at the dance. Look at the weave. Look at the bob and wave. They are baiting this out so perfectly, but they have run out of mana. ONU get greedy, they overstay too long, and they overestimate or underestimate the tower damage. Pace have a little bit of breathing time before the next play.
The way Aggression was moving, he had the Nike J's on right now. He's just like zooming around. I was like, is he gonna die? Ghost enabled, plus just Udyr being a ridiculous champion. Jack Show as well. Typically we see something else coming out from the Udyr. I've seen Radiant Virtue. I've seen foregoing the mythic and going demonic into something even like a Sunfire Cape. I don't hate Jack Show. Allows you to stick into the pocket. You have a nice heal. You get a lot of armor and MR here, and just enables you as a kind of an individual carry. I'm not going to knock Aggression's build here, but ONU, they are looking to end the game very soon. Baron is up in 50 seconds. Double supers across the map here. Open Nexus. You have to believe this last push is going to be the game-ending one, but Orbital, I don't want to be fooled again.
I don't either, but with that kill, it's a big one. Taro in game 1 was a monster. This time around, forced to take a back seat as they fall once again. A second kill to come through. You got Viderman, but this will be Rue falling to Kai. The Jinx finally gets their just kills. And it's Aggression to finish it off as ONU bring it back to a tied state.
Oof. ONU. Varsity squad is in. They throw down the glove. They say, no more messing around, Pace. You fought the mini boss. You fought them, but now you have to go against phase 2. You've got to go against the big boys here. And although Pace looked pretty even in the early game, the incremental value that ONU is getting, the mechanical advantages as well, just across the board. They were at a 2,000 gold lead without really doing anything, right at the 11-minute mark. And that just kept ballooning and ballooning and ballooning. Now you know why this is their main squad. Orbital and Pace have a pretty big mountain to climb.
It's crazy to see what just 2 players can do to change an entire synergistic squad. It showed every single lane felt a lot more stable, a lot more in control. So very excited to see what we are going to go to a game number 3 here very shortly. So please do not go anywhere. ECAC will be right back here with Esports U. We conclude a semifinals matchup and a game 4 afterwards as well. Please don't go anywhere.
Other departments across campus. One of the things that has helped us is that we have support from the president's office. And so in order to participate participate in Mountain West events, you have to have an adult non-student administrator that oversees that, you know, the esport program. And that's where we get assistance with, you know, eligibility checks and, you know, please complete your roster, things like that. I don't know in the future, and it depends on, you know, who's sitting in the athletics director's chairs, whether or not more esport teams will go under the umbrella of athletics. And I'm kind of indifferent in terms of whether it should, because I don't want esports to go down the road that some conventional sports have gone down with the NCAA. So we have a unique opportunity to kind of craft esports in a way that fits what esports is, as opposed to trying to fit it into a conventional athletics box, so to speak.
Right.
You know, I think the success of our program and getting participation is exactly that. The fact that we're not tying it in necessarily to athletics and NCAA eligibility. Like Carolyn, we probably have 3 or 4 schools that are under athletics. And I know it puts them in a difficult position sometimes trying to make some decisions. I got a request recently to consider allowing part-time students to participate during this year, because some schools struggle sometimes to fill out all the games that they want to play with us. And we held off on that for now. You know, we defer to the institution and say, what's your policy for those that are under student development or activities? What's your policy for allowing students to participate? And if you certify that they're eligible for your current policies, then that's good for us. I also think, and I was part of some of the conversations early on with the NCAA years ago about the NCAA getting involved as a Division II representative, and I was crossing my fingers that wouldn't happen, just because I think this needs time to grow, you know, and expand.
Can I ask a question, because you mentioned part-time enrollment, and one of the things that we've done here is that as a conference, we've just set eligibility standards, full-time enrollment, making progress towards your degree as the institution defines it. Are you guys doing something like that as well? Because we've gotten that part-time enrollment question and we've said no. Yeah,
no, I don't think we've gotten that far down the line, Carolyn, to ask for that. I think we kind of put it on the institution, but we do say that the student has to be a full-time. Now, they could be a full-time grad student, but they have to be full-time as from what the institution decides.
Yeah, our eligibility requirements are just as simple as can be. You have to be a full-time student in good standing.
Yes.
And after that, and that's about it. Now I think we wanted as few impediments to getting this thing rolling as possible in the outset. I do think as schools get more competitive, they will start to distrust one another, and that's why we have this 500-page NCAA manual, because schools distrust one another. But we're not there yet. You know, right now there's still a collective. Let's move this forward, and the fact that the NCAA is not administering it, I think, is really helpful to the growth of it all. And yes, we allow grad students. We don't even have a 4 or 5 year clock. If you are full-time enrolled for 10 years in good standing, you can do, and why not? Why would we not say that that's okay? Now, eventually, like I said, we may change our minds if the schools require it. They say, no, this is crazy. Look what they're doing over there. We don't like, you know, but I think we're still a long way from that. Alex, do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything that really Carolyn has said. You know, you're gonna have to forgive me. What was the original question? It's been a minute. I know. I'm sorry.
Well, just kind of what you set out to do, and then what maybe the realities of it all.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to hold my keyboard the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis if I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. This guy right here, he's got his keyboard off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his keyboard all the way at a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're gonna be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. This isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not gonna tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it? Did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them?
No.
Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay. All right. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give away your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place?
Certainly not last.
What about, 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place?
Third place.
That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my God. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my God. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's going to hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The
it.
Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazuya.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistics thing.
Yeah.
It's maybe.
This is a death match, and I think they're all in the same one. They're all on Icebox. Are they all in the same death match? Maybe. Who knows? I feel like none of them can hear me. I want to approach somebody, but no one can hear. They all have both their headphones on.
What's up?
How do we think we're doing?
I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's your kitty?
We're looking at 10 and 6 right now.
Oh, hey, that's 3rd, dude. That's better than I expected. Who's bottom frag right now? I want to go talk to them. Ian? Hey, how do you think we're doing so far?
It could be better.
Could be better? You're one of those rough days?
Well,
Let's go find more people to harass.
Yeah.
Where's Boise State? Who's your favorite to play?
Oh, right now it's got to be either Chamber or Breach.
What country is Cypher from?
Oh, dude, it's Moroccan, right?
It is Moroccan. Oh my God, I don't think anyone is gonna get that. Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, see you later. Let's go harass Boise State more. Who is this? What school is this? Boise?
This is Boise.
Oh man, that's okay. Boise's still got really good odds. A Large Bagel, one of their tank players, Nerdy Bird, they're off tank. Both of them not here. A little bit scary, if we're being honest. Getting warmed up, getting ready to cast some players. No, not cast. Interview. Change your mindset. Change your mindset.
Words.
No, but last words until we come back.
Oh, okay.
Because we're leaving.
Enjoy.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Anything from you?
How are you doing, Polly?
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
That's why we're here, right? This is why a lot of people are trying to figure out, how do we replicate what you guys are doing? How do we, how do they do what you guys are doing to a degree, or why are you guys doing what you're doing to a degree? But to kind of, I think, focus in then a little bit more. I want to talk about gameplay a little bit before we jump into business and all of the other stuff. Jensen, this one's for you, right? I want to talk a little bit about this because to someone like me who's traditionally a League of Legends fan and all that, I know that you've been a coach that's been all over the world. You've worked with a lot of different professional teams and different regions. My question, I really want, I think a lot of people want to know, how did you end up at Maryville, and why like a North American collegiate college? What was the draw, or what brought you here? How did you get to this point?
When I first came to NA, I worked with the models, with the academy team, and I realized that there's a lot of cultural challenges that exist that's very unique to NA and esports, right? Where there's this very interesting intersection, because unlike traditional sports, in esports, players they don't start training with under a structure or a system or a coach. From a very early age, which is what happens if you want to pick up any other sport, right? Like you start going to community events or whatsoever, and then you start developing your skills and your literacy of the game from the age of 6 or 7, and you're very used to working in a team environment, a coaching environment. But in esports and for League of Legends, a lot of times players they go through they go up, they climb the ranks in solo queue where everything is basically self-taught, and then all of a sudden they need to be placed into a team environment. And I realized that this is something that the Asian teams got right, where they had these B teams. They have the B houses in Korea and Taiwan. You would spend almost close to a year just being a understudy or training partner for the team before you even join an academy team in the first place. And in China, they have like these massive B team systems with like lots of players in them. The moment you hit a certain rank on the ladder, they fly you in. You are then boot camping for a month there at the facility, and depending on how well you do, they then decide whether to retain you on as a training partner or as a trainee in whatever capacity, given how well you perform in those scenarios. So the West was very lacking in all of this, and culturally to do the same things and try to replicate the B house environment or what they do in China or Taiwan would not be possible to do. But the West has a very successful model of developing sports and talent, especially in America, and that is in the collegiate space. So I looked at this, I saw the resources that was available, and when then when Clerky pitched his vision to me, it's like, yeah, this is.
And we're back. Game number 3. Everything on the line here. We are down to a best of 3. And oh my gosh. ONU, they pulled the equivalent of, okay, let me get serious. They took off the headphones. They leaned forward in their chair. They got, hunched over. They're ready to go. They came out with some absolute fire in game number 2. And it's not the ignition, the very fast spark. It's the slow choke you out. You have nowhere to go at the end of the day. They took that one clinically.
I thought you were going to say he took the training weights off. He started moving around really fast. ONU, they unleashed a Leaf Hurricane onto Pace here in lightning fast speed, right? 26 minutes, I believe the game ended. ONU is not playing around here. 10,000 gold lead at, I believe, the 20-minute mark here. They were clinical on every single objective except the last dragon that unfortunately Kai tried to solo out and was stolen away. We do have a bit of a, like you said, roster. I wouldn't say roster swap, but a position change, like you mentioned. Pace here, swapping the jungle in mid positions. Taro will be going jungle. Nitro will be going mid here. Maybe that's the boon they need. Maybe they just need a different champion pool coming out from Pace. They were able to take game 1 while 3 of the varsity members were here. You've only added 2 more pieces. Pace, they can still do it. They can still make this series very, very interesting. And they are going to start off with the Gangplank ban, though. Vidarom is not allowed to have that champion.
I mean, that is... You just can't. We saw what could happen on a bully champion like the Aatrox, and it's counter pick time, too. Pace, by the way, did want blue side. Let's keep that in mind. This is going to play, I think, very heavily into the last few picks, because right now, honestly, it really is down to that R5 pick. We have now seen in 2 different games how that last pick for Ohio Northern has caused some complications on either side. In game 1, it was the Ahri. In game 2, it was the Aatrox. This can happen again here. We are taking a look. And as you can see, we are seeing Taro in that jungle. Like you said, very, very different here. I want to see what they can do. Bans, though. Bans are still the same. Ohio Northern say, I don't care if you roll swap. We are going to maintain the distinct advantage of we don't want you to engage on us at all.
And you see Gragas being taken away from game 1, although interestingly enough, don't know if Nitro's like a Gragas mid player by any chance. It was piloted by him in jungle in game 1 here. They just want to give that away. It's too troublesome. A lot of disengage as Annie potentially being locked in as a B1 pick. Usually you see that in response to a Jinx, although it might just dissuade Ohio Northern completely, right? Saying, don't lock the Jinx in. We have a point and stun click ability here. We can drop a nuke onto your AD carrier. ONU, though, they're going to throw the gauntlet down. They're going to say, you know what? Despite your long range Annie here, Kai's going to get the Jinx. Kai's going to be able to carry. Kuz is going to be able to be paired up with him. Milio is still on the table here. Although, aggression, hey, if you give it to me, I'll take it. Hovering there, and he's just going to lock that in.
Game 2 looked great. There was no reason not to take the Udyr once again. And especially with the change up here, with Taro, we're actually going, okay, it's now on Taro to figure out what you want to play into this. You could go for a bit of tankiness. You could go a little bit of like a Sejuani, but I mean, that's not going to be great either. The Graves, though, this is a big change up, and I say that because in game number 2, Nitro played a little bit heavy-handed. It was very, very straightforward. It was a bruiser style. You tried to take that Volibear. This one's more just, I'm going to try and out-damage you. That's a very big difference. And then, of course, for Quay, off the Aphelios that has not been banned out, but said here in game number 3, we need to go very deep into that champ pool. Is that going to be the Melio? Come on. Is that actually going to be Melio? No, it's not. Okay, Nautilus. Yeah. Nautilus hovered here. That'll be locked in.
Classic counter to the Zeri lane, right? You've got a point-and-click depth charge that regardless of how far Zeri goes over these walls, how far she skates over the Summoner's Rift, it will follow her here. I like that adaptation, not just taking the Milio because it's up, putting that pressure onto Quay here. He doesn't have the safety of the Thresh right now, and we don't know where this Annie's going. Could possibly go into Nitro's hands, could go into Fist if they want to flex that into the support role. ONU, though, I think they definitely believe that this Annie's going support. They've banned out the Victor, they've banned out the Ornn here as well. So they don't want to give that away. They're kind of trying to deny some of that flex potential at the moment. Ari and Aatrox, though, trauma bans alert for Pace here. They said, we don't want to see that. No more here. No more diving from Vitarum here. But Ornn as well not being... Actually, Ornn, sorry, being taken off the board here. So you don't got too many tanks to pick from. Pace, Cho'Gath is still on the board. And you can really kind of understand that Pace don't play to their top side. They don't really want a carry in that lane. So Vitarum, smartly so, just locking the Jason potentially. No. Gnar as well. Very, very good at harassing these melee laners here and tanks. So what will Pace choose? Do they go the skill matchup, Orbital?
Ooh, I'm not sure. So far, we've seen Rue have a little bit of a struggle, right? Let's be honest here. Has not had the most optimal time and tends to, as you said, not play towards the top side. So you have to go self-sustain. It's something that will not be volatile. It is going to be that Shen. Granted, the Shen still gives a decent amount of safety. It still gives a little bit of dueling potential if Vitarum gets a little bit too far forward. And is that going to be Annie mid? Do we see the Braum locked in here? Come on, dude. It is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Annie in the mid lane, confirmed.
Yeah, that flex potential being thrown around here. They did ban the Victor out. That's a waste of a ban for pretty much ONU, right? They throw that in there. It's like, oh, well, that goes into the gutter. Annie being locked into the mid lane. Shen in the top lane, though. That's an even spicier pick, right? That's another tank that was on the table. That's definitely there. Does okay into the Gnar because of that shield that he has that blocks auto attacks in. But it feels like Gnar will almost always have control of the lane, and because the lack of a combative ultimate for the Shen, he's never, in theory, gonna have kill threat onto the Gnar here. As Talia gets locked in for ONU. Kato is gonna have a really good time cutting off members like the Graves, like the Annie, like the Zeri, and forcing them into corridors. And they're gonna have a really good time with this objective control here. The Legos, quite literally, these are actual Legos that Kato puts down here. It's gonna be kind of rough for Pace to walk in. They don't have the craziest tank line, in my opinion. Shen, yeah, is a beefy boy, but he's not starting the fights. He's usually coming in after splitting topside. So realistically, when it comes to contesting Dragon and contesting Heralds, most likely it's going to be this Braum frontlining.
It's also a dangerous factor to be, again, you pick up the Talia, and now 4 of the 5 members of Pace not only can't really get over the wall, but they're stopped in their tracks. If they dash, they're going to take so much damage, and this is the dangerous part. We now invade. Oh my gosh, Pace completely spotted out. They had no idea. And ONU are actually going to flood over to the opposite side. You can see here. Oh, and if Taro takes the wrong side. Oh, Shibby. Oh, Shibby. And the ward misses as well. Oh, you get nothing on the red buff. 3, 2, 1, Taro. You are dead.
Rue might be dead.
Rue is going to eat the next chunk. Yes, you get the sword through all of them, but it's not going to do anything. You are running for your life. Ghost coming out. Aggression will chase him down. What a start to game number 3.
And I'm surprised that none of the members of Pace threw a ward down in that pixel bush or behind them. ONU did the same invade game 2, and it feels like Pace low-key autopiloted a little bit here. They're like, wait, where are these guys? They're not at the red. We don't see anybody here. Are they just avoiding us expertly? We see ONU. I think they spotted out Pace along that edge of the river, and they just snuck into the pixel bush. They were waiting for somebody to go into their open jaws, and they pick up 2 kills for their troubles. 1 onto Aggression and 1 onto Kato. Probably the best members you could have it on in this early game.
And it works so well. They love it, and especially since this early game should be a little bit quieter. You take a look down Pace's line. They're the only ones that I think are going to bring a lot to the table is going to be Taro and Aggression. Because you look on the bot side, take a look at the items that Quay and Kai both picked up. They both easily identified that they don't actually want to fight too much. They're actually going to try and farm up. Calls for both of them signal that I don't think either ADC, outside of really volatile issues and, you know, opportunities set up by the sports, I don't think they're going to be really willing to fight.
Braum does have that passive going. I like the idea too, right? You have a Braum, you want to invade, you want to find somebody out here, but the counter invade is so disgusting as now the hook goes in, but Taro is here for the gank.
All right, well, I said outside of extenuating circumstances, this is going to be a change-up, and look at that. Easy pickup. Taro said, hey, look, I ain't Nitro. I gank where I see it. Pickup after pickup after pickup, dancing inside of the wave. It is given to Quay's side, and that's a nice 2 kills to even up this game.
And Aggression can't even look to punish because he's already pathed down to his bottom lane, right? He full cleared top side, got his, red, got everything there, and now has just started full clearing the bottom side here, so he won't even be able to pick up the blue buff, the wolves, or the Gromp that's really free for him up in that top side. He will get the scuttle relatively uncontested here, but that is just a really nice play from Taro. Whether he knew Aggression was going to full clear and go bot or not, that could be put into question, but just a nice gank overall, especially waiting out Cuz's dredge line. You have to burn the flash there if you want to get out, and unfortunately, they just weren't able to, as Kai has no summoner spells available into a Braum into his areas, Cuz he's going to be able to burn Nitro's flash.
Yep, you're at Nitro here. This is a test, right? This is the test for a jungler now moved to mid. You got to be here, be like, man, this is what it's like to be on the other end of the other end of the gank. Man, this kind of sucks. You're gonna have to hide out, but Fist. Oh, this is scary. Remember, there was a full gank, and they know it. They know that Fist has to walk this way. Walk this way. Walk to death. Root, chunk, burn, and turn. It's just an easy kill to be made. Aggression granted a second here before 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you light up Fist in the jungle here. And this guy has just been bullied game 1, game 2, and now game 3. Oh, what is the life of a support but to not pay for the sins of your AD carry, as Quay wasn't able to drop a ward in that tri-bush, wasn't able to spot them out here. Now, they could go for a dive. Braum is on the backside here. Fist died as respawn. Timers are super low, but even zoning them out, this Zeri is not having a fun time right now.
Oh, but Kato's not either, so they're going to try and flip it on its head, but because they know Taro is there, they can kill Fist again. That is a second kill in about a minute and a half, and Taro and Nitro can't do anything about it. Well played by ONU, understanding the map state.
And I said Aggression wouldn't be able to punish. Oh my, Quay, you greedy boy.
That's brutal, and now Taro is going to eat a little bit of damage as well. You lose out on those Krugs. ONU identifying this bot lane as a huge power point and stealing away everything.
Quay gets his hand caught in the cookie jar here. Tried to go for some creep, some minions, some gold for himself, just a morsel of anything, and unfortunately gets immediately punished out. Cuz and Aggression, a masterclass on just bullying the bot lane here. Peep the score, Orbital. This Udyr is 4-0 at the 5.5 minute mark.
It's ridiculous. It is pain. I think we're gonna see a 7-minute demonic embrace. Is that what we're gonna see? Just like a very quick pickup here. I think you only need like 1 or 2 more camps, right? That's all you really need. What's the combination goal? Do you know the combination goal?
Oh my god. Come on, I need to know this. Colorcaster. I think it's 800 gold after all 800? The items are complete. I could be wrong there. I don't know if the math
But it is really
out.
quick. It's ridiculously quick.
No, 100%. 100% here, and he's going to have it at an astonishingly quick time, which is going to allow him to get these through, though. Wait a minute. My point be damned.
Oh my gosh. Cuz is going to take it up. Take 2 or 3, and they should be able to finish it off. No shield left. Actually, Cuz, oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? All right, you get at least 1. Could have been a double kill, but I mean, that was a little bit of a force by ONU. Oh, in the mid lane, we're seeing Kato as well. No more stuns to come out, but the Ignite goes down. And it looks like Kato will be forced out of lane, and now it's Aggression's turn to turn things around. Nitro has no flash, but it's just a smite on Tibbers. Just take out that extra buff.
I crunched the numbers. I checked it actually while you were commentating here. It was 815. 815 gold for Demonic Ingrace. So a little bit off, but as now we see Aggression looking to maybe get a little aggressive himself as a kill goes down from Brom to Brom.
Oh my gosh. Fist wanted a little bit of action with the trade in the lower side of mid. It's now going to be a flash over, and that's the kill. Look at the Shen ulti coming in. Stand united indeed. No taunts to come out, but it's enough. Taro gets some help and is now 2-1-1 in the jungle.
Rough for ONU here, but they've still got a pretty big hill to climb pace. Their AD carry is starved beyond belief. His cull only stacked about 35 times here. And you just see how far ahead Kai is because of all that aggressiveness. As we see Kato bullying Nitro out here. He should be dead.
Oh, no mana, no flash, no nothing. And Kato just going to sling stones at the back of their head and going to live because of the boost of the rocket. Rocket's just 2 ECAC assists. Thank you very much.
Picks up the kill, had nowhere really to go. That was a really good rocket because if Nitro walks back, Kato gets the kill. As long as he keeps walking forward, Kai will get the massive kill. He is now gets the interrupt onto Taro.
Oh my gosh, interrupt after interrupt after interrupt, and this is why you picked up this champion. But look at that, a tower shot, and yet Cuz still remains Aggression, standing in front, being that tank that's needed. And because of that, Taro is now out. Fist now has to sit in mid. Yes, Annie is back, but Nitro can't do much more than soak up XP. ONU still running the show.
Really nice push out, getting that lane shoved in, resetting the lane for Kato. Doesn't have TP available, so it's going to be able to use that, use the wall to kind of get back in the lane, but also cut Annie off a little bit and get himself potentially a kill. Really nice on this Talia pick. I had my doubts because I was like, well, who's he going to really use it on? But honestly, it's just been controlling this mid lane. Yes, it's not an Ahri, but I mean, you're still controlling where this Annie goes, what she can do. And Cousin Aggression, the Bash Brothers are bullying this person.
Oh, Nitro does have flash, but I think you're close enough to tower that it's fine, but still, no CS sent your way. Nitro is going to be happy about this. You are okay with this because Dragon will be taken in. At least you get a global objective. You flash out of the way. You're fine. Tibbers down to body block in front. But there it is. You see it on your screen. Dragon, first objective, but it's taken at 9.5 minutes. It's so far along. That pace, even if they try for the soul point, it's going to be quite late into the game.
Quite frankly, I don't even think Aggression cares about the objectives, right? Like, he doesn't care about Dragon. He's like, I want gold. I want to direct inject items into my body, as he wants that combined gold for the Demonic Embrace here. I think you're close. I think he has the gold to combine it. He just hasn't backed yet.
Yeah, we'll Observer, can we check?
Yeah.
Oh, that's plenty. That's way plenty.
Yeah, he's hoarding. He's pulling a little bit of the smoke here. 1,500 gold in his pocket here. Probably going to pick up the Demonic plus some boots, I suspect. Yeah, there we go. Boots, ward, and even a cloth armor to boot, so he's very, very fed on the map. 3.5k gold lead for ONU. Thank you so much to our observer Kai for flipping the gold.
Also, big shout out to our producer as well. Professor Layton has been awesome. The little juke on the. I love that so much. Just having some fun. And now we get to observe this top side as Viduram actually loses out on the boomerang and is just dead. So you know what? Taro being a menace here, at least matching aggression for their aggression.
Yeah, the jungle swap, I didn't know how it would go, but so far Taro has been, I would say, equally, if not a little bit more effective than Nitro, who was on the Gragas, who was on the Volley Bear. Granted, Lava really did nothing. His aggression, though, on the Udyr, you give it to him, man. He's just going to run you over. That's a demonic embrace at the 10-minute mark. He is so far ahead. Yes, Immortal Shieldbow is completed on the Graves, but this bot lane, man, they are so starved, Orbital. Series got Zerker Greaves, 2 swords and a cull. How do you even contest this?
You don't. You pray to God that a rocket doesn't find the back of your head. Either the Super Mega Death Rocket or just a regular auto. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They've identified so well and they played it well, and now Cuz is allowed to roam out from there. Even in this 2v2, you don't really feel like you win, so they have to bring him back up, and Cuz might pay. In comes Tara as well, and it looks like the rush is there. Good body block to come out here, but the stun after the flash means Kato is going to die. Aggression from Pace's own jungle, though, signals the end of a retreat. This will be a chance for the good concussive blows. Aggression getting burned out quite quickly, but that's the rocket. We said you can't let it hit too hard. Aggression will burn thanks to Tibbers, and over the wall fist goes, but the AoE sets him up perfectly as Kato ends with a double.
Rue came in with like 20 health, I'm pretty sure, as the Stand United came in. Wiederum was just autoing him down with the hyper stacks, and I just see him get donated to ONU. The meat grinder that is them is, whoa! Quay just trying to get something here.
You get one, you'll take it, and honestly, that's all you can ask for. ONU say, cool, that was a little bit of a hiccup. We'll take our second tower, and we will push forevermore. That gold lead now extending to 8k on the nose, or at least about to. I take it back. That's not 8. That's 7.9.
We
pushing forward though. It's an extensive lead.
We round in Shibi's school of mathematics, so you got a passing grade, Orbital. But 8,000 gold at the 13-minute mark. You may have aced my class, but ONU have aced League of Legends right now. 8,000 gold at the 13-minute mark is an astronomical lead for ONU. You see the item difference, mythics plus some more across the board here. And Cuz, I don't think I've seen this guy bot lane.
Nope. Cuz had one moment, and then Aggression was like, nah, I'll take over the support role. You go ahead mid. You be the jungler here. It's been gank after gank after gank. It's either Nautilus or Udyr, Udyr or Nautilus, Nautilus or Udyr, and now it's a chance on Aggression. Aggression getting burned out because of blows, but you're fine. Half health Taro saying they want a bit more, but Nitro trying to jump into the jungle and is going to have the stun up, but they all walk away safely. So as much as Pace put down, they're not even trying to go for the kill. They're just trying to say, hey, Aggression, you can't enter our jungle side. Oh no! And now they're going to continue. There goes the Glacial Fissure. It catches 2, and they walk forward. That's going to be a little bit of a shot over the wall as Tar Brew to get Kato's life. It's a 1-for-1 trade to the mid laners.
Oh my god. Kai enabled the aim hacks. He just knows where you are with this. Is now Kai, unfortunately, doesn't have wall hacks. Doesn't know where ONU. Oh my god, Pace! Sneak up on him.
Oh, this might disrespect at the end of the day, but for as much fighting as happened, remember, kills without objectives are just kills. Viderman on the bot side looking to clear out this tower. You might not get it, but it's 50% more than enough, and getting ready for the second dragon of the game.
Just the second one right now, and you just look at ONU. They don't care about the dragons. They're not really bothered. They're just looking to get gold. They're looking to get kills. They're in the Baron waiting room, as I like to call it. It's an 8,000 gold lead for them right now. And Pace, they've got to play near perfect to make a comeback. When you are down this far in gold, the mistakes you made are worse and worse, right? You have to play so well. You've got to win a fight, then another fight, then another fight, and then another fight. Maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to get back into the gold here as the objective bounty does go down. Dragon in their favor, but now, what do you pay for it?
You pay with a couple lives, most likely. Viderman is able to live, not Meganar yet, but Fist gets shoved back into the fight. It's going to be a stun coming out of aggression, but Taro says get out. That's a kill over the wall. Thankfully for the Annie, but the Weaver's wall cuts them all off. Quay dancing in and out of the fight, getting over the walls and chasing back to the wave. And I think they're going to be okay. This should be the burn. Quay gets stunned up because I'm not sure he's able to throw the hook, but it's going to be another rocket. The shove catches them all. What a chance and a half. Rue tries to get the stun out, but can't get the taunt, and because of that, Taro now runs away. Rocket once again up, gets some damage down, but that is the Immortal Shield Bow keeping Taro alive. Nitro coming back in after getting the kill. Now shoved again. This Weaver, this Talia is a menace beyond belief.
The Earthbender is strong with Kato here. The shoves, the Legos, the Qs, everything in this power. Kato's looking so good on this Talia. I had my doubts. I said, I don't know what it's going to really do here, but it just sets everybody up on ONU to pick up the kills here. You look at Kai, you look at Aggression, you look at Kato. These three, the monster carries of ONU right now. And yeah, Viderman, not on the Aatrox, is on the Gnar, not looking too hot, but he doesn't need to win the team fight. He doesn't need to really do too much other than split and be a menace and keep Shen in check here. It feels like the draft that Pace has gotten for themselves, the champions that they got, it just doesn't work that well together. Who are you ulting as Shen? You want to try to go in, you want to try to use that as an engage, but you have the Zeri popping out, you don't have a attack speed boost for her, you don't got steroids for her. She kind of just has to fight with her item disadvantage, and right now she's at an Immortal Shield Bow. She just picked up her Mythic at 17 minutes here. And you look across the board, Kai has a rapid fire cannon. An almost completed Archangels is on the side of Kato. And Aggression is looking towards picking up that next item, the Mythic in hand. Most likely going to be that Jack Show.
It's just everything for ONU's side. They're having some fun. They're having a good time, and it's not going to change here. They're now looking for the Herald here at 17.5 minutes. Might as well pick it up. Might as well look further. And Nitro getting dove almost under tower, leaving once again after just getting the lane. By the way, just got the lane, had to drop the ulti once again. It's going to give another tower for them. They are going to lock down 4 towers to 0 on ONU's side. Break open the top side. Get ready for Dragon in 2 minutes, which we haven't even been able to talk about. Pace were able to grab 2, but leaving a 4-stack Infernal up for ONU would be so painful.
This game might end before we even get to Soul Point Orbital. I mean, 2 minutes in, the Baron is coming up very soon here. They're just knocking down this extra gold. They're breaking the pinatas open. They want the candy, but right now they want Fist.
Oh, they want all the damage. They want the kill, and that's going to be the Gnar against the wall. Doesn't really get anything, but with the wall, Taro gets away from that death charge, and they're able to live. But look at that. A defensive stand united means that they can't really get much else. So big ulti is actually taken down, and large timers on the side of Pace.
A lot of ultis were used. Pretty much nothing, I would say, on ONU's side. I think Cuz is kind of happy that one didn't hit. He would have been in a mess of trouble here. Throws it out nonetheless. And Kato once again shoving somebody back in. Just looks like they're waiting for the mini wave Aggression. Having a dance-off right now.
An unknowing dance-off, by the way. That is in the bush. So Aggression isn't being seen. That's the I'm waiting for the wave, I'm waiting for the wave, I want that wave, I want that wave, and I want that kill, I want that kill. Tower is dead. Tower is going to fall behind. Aggression getting ready to help out. Takes the tower shot, and they're going to bust down this lane. Fist, without a flash, without a shield, without a team, is now downers. They are looking to follow up. Another shove means Rue has to go back to base. Quay, you're just a lone ADC. There's nothing in the pocket as this inhibitor tower will fall.
Before the 20-minute mark as well, is going to set them up for a nice Baron. It doesn't get the inhib, so you don't see supers pushing in. But you got to look at the empowered recall. Aggression still has the Rift Herald in his right now. I think it's about to go up, though, the timer here. We'll have to use it potentially for when this Baron comes up.
It's 4 minutes, right?
I think it's almost done.
Oh, that's all they need to do, though. Remember, they're the ones with the gold. They're now just gold slinging all over the board. Rocket to the back line. Means they're going to shred through Rue. And look at Viderman. Viderman's going to do their job. Hook lands on Annie. Annie is now down. That is the mid laner killed off. It's a double kill. Looking for a triple Aggression. still duking out against Taro. It's a wet noodle fight between the junglers as Quay runs for their life. Aggression gonna burn down Taro, and there's the shove that you need. It is finally a 4th kill as ONU look for both global objectives.
They're looking for the global objectives, like you said. They're splitting Kato onto the Inferno, which is fine. You can have your cake and eat it too here. As Pace are just looking really down and out right now.
I mean, they're trying, right? And look at this. We are seeing a secondary possible steal, but if Pace are able to steal this one away, that could be big, except their jungler isn't up for a couple more minutes. Or a couple more seconds, I should say. Not minutes. Oh my gosh, imagine 2-minute death timers or something like that. That would be terrifying. That would be horrendous. We are going to a chance. This is over the wall. Heavy chance ahead. And Pain is left in the bucket. Rue gets dropped. Double kill for Kai. And it's all downhill from here. Herald down in mid. ONU looking to slam the doors shut on this game number 3.
They're going trying to beat their record for game 2, right? They're at 26 minutes. All right. 22 minutes here. The dinner bell is ringing. My mom wants me to eat enchiladas right now. Like, ONU is speed running this game as Cuz potentially going in onto Nitro here. Depth charge does go down.
Oh!
Disgusting.
Why do Zaps hurt that much? That's ridiculous.
They increased the AD ratio. They
did.
It's conspiracy, man. They increased the AD ratio for it, so it does so much damage now with just 3 or even 2 items. It's absolutely disgusting. As Kai staying in the pocket with less than a quarter health, crazy madman that he is, gets excited, gets out. They pick up the mid lane inhibitor. Top lane inhibitor is still open, right for the taking, prime for their vengeance. As ONU, they won't beat their game time just yet, but they get so much off of that Baron plus Rift Herald push.
It was so good. It was immaculate. And again, it's not, I wouldn't say it's super clean, but it's enough. It's enough to, again, cement themselves as a squad to beat. They brought in their varsity squad. They brought in these masters, and honestly, Pace crushed game number 1. They played way better than we expected. But they have to step up here, and they have to be looking at game number 4. Where do they go from here? What do they need to change? They tried to change Taro and Nitro, but I mean, Taro did good. Nitro's having a fit, I think.
It's definitely not the positions that these players play. I think they fundamentally drafting is just really weird, right? They're giving aggression as Udyr. They're giving Kai this Jinx, right? 3 games in a row now. Like, I would just ban. Why are you giving that up? Like, you've tried the Aphelios. It kind of worked in game 1, but that was more of ONU kind of inting rather than Pace really pushing the envelope when they had that massive gold lead at one point. Quay now on the Zeri, just not as effective as he was on the Aphelios. Yeah, he's got the 2-item power spike, but they're so far ahead, and Kato has just been running mid lane right now. Their bans have been really off kilter here, and I don't necessarily agree with it. Also, their team compositions just don't make so cohesive, right? You've got a Shen, you've got a Graves, you've got an Annie. Do you want a team fight? Do you want a split push? Do you want to go for picks? They're trying to get a little bit of everything, and as I'm talking, Aggression just runs Nitro down.
Oh man, that's a bully side here. They are just now going to annihilate Vidrum. But look at the stones again. This Kato, this Talia pickup, R5. I said it time and time again. These R5 pickups are really deciding the game one way or another. And I love it. Triple kill for Kato. They're going to sprint forward for the Nexus. This will be ONU to cement almost this series. We are in a best of 3, and it's now basically 1-0. All they need is one more to move on into the finals of the ECAC playoffs. GG, they say, as Pace are going back to the drawing board.
Yeah, an interesting swap, right? I don't necessarily think either of those players were the problems in their respective roles. You saw me kind of rant about kind of what their drafting is and kind of what they're prioritizing. They've gone to blue side 3 games in a row. They first picked the Aphelios, then they first picked the Annie. Like, the priority is very odd. What they're banning out, they're giving Aggression like his most played champion. They're giving Kai his most played champion in this series. Like, at some point, you have to just agree, like, hey, Kai Jinx is just not something we can deal with. Let's go for a more neutral matchup. Maybe let's get the Zaya in our favor, right? Make him go on the scaling champion, force the issue onto him. Definitely back to the drawing board. I think the weakness is that top side with Rue, who seems like he's pretty much relegated to playing tanks, and you ban out the Ornn, the Scion, you ban all this Malphite out as well here. It just puts him on a very subpar matchup. And yeah, Vidarum didn't dominate the lane, but top lane just isn't bringing enough pressure, isn't bringing enough of that tankiness to kind of get into this mid game here. So I just think ONU with their varsity squad just really, just champion pick wise too, they just been really, really good.
I don't think they're going to stop either, so we're going to go to a very short break, get teams ready for game number 4, what could possibly be the end of the series here tonight. Please don't go anywhere.
Because Dan, okay, so Dan, you pick up Jensen, you've got this going. I think that's going to be my question then is, or to any other schools that want to be competitive like you guys on that level, is this something that we should be expecting to see in the future, right? Is this now, the standard that you guys, Jensen, you and Dan, do you guys feel that this, if every college across the nation starts doing this, if they start, recruiting coaches like Jensen and trying to build this atmosphere, is this going to be the next standard, or is this something that's very successful that obviously it's proven to work, but is it sustainable? Is it possible for everyone, or maybe not everyone, but right, the greater sense of the industry and the ecosystem? How do you guys feel about that?
It's a dream of mine, obviously, to get to a point in the future where every university has an esports team that's taken seriously, and every day they report to practice. It's an improvement-driven mindset across the whole program. I think for me though, like the reason isn't necessarily like to see like a March Madness with millions of dollars flowing through it. For me, it's a little bit more simpler than that. The reason why this is my vision is just because it's best for player development and just players in general. What we see in systems almost across the industry, that's like below academy, I would say, like right before you, I would consider academy professional, because you're making a salary, higher salary than exists in a lot of semi-pro sports actually. But in the tier 2 ecosystem, you kind of go from like your parents' bedroom making no money on a Discord server with a coach that hasn't been certified by any national body, to playing academy, and that's horrifying to me. So while I don't see collegiate as being, or maybe it does end up being this way, but it doesn't have to be the definitive path to pro. I want it to at least be an option, like a parallel option, similar to how you can go through the Canadian hockey system, where you can choose to spend a couple extra years developing and maturing physically and emotionally in the NCAA model before you go to the show in the NHL. I'd like to see that reality in esports. This isn't something where there's a century of history to the competition. So it's a very powerful tool, especially when you're trying to convince your parents that this is a worthwhile pursuit, that you can get a college degree. And it's one of those things where, at least in America, with how expensive college is, getting scholarships after your first, after your 18 to 20-year-old years is usually harder academically. You usually get the majority of your scholarships going into school when you're an 18-year-old freshman, and the way that the current path to pro is set up, a lot of players are foregoing that span of time to try to go pro for no pay. And so for me, it's more about like a health of a pipeline, health of the ecosystem, health of kind of the player experience of pursuing this, and that's the big thing for me. And obvious it's a dream. I want Maryville to serve as like a case study and a model for that. We want to show results. We want to eventually be competing to win proving grounds, to show that this can be a functional alternative to the traditional tier 2 within esports, and that's what we strive for every year.
And I can add to that a little bit, just from a business perspective. I think, we're very fortunate to have Jensen and Dan here at Maryville, but I think if you're a university looking at, just adding a coach, maybe not to the magnitude of Jensen, but I think you have to look at the metrics. I think if you look at what the ROI and the business case of adding relevant esports within your university, what that means to your student life and all those different things, all those things that they try to check boxes within higher ed. I think having a relevant esports program or a relevant system within esports every university should be looking at it, because their baseball players and their basketball players and football players are all playing gaming. And a lot of these esports, figureheads and coaches, etc., are the relevant people in digital media. And it helps the school with a brand perspective. And I think just having any sort of relevant and adding bodies within the esports ecosystem at universities, you have 2 or 3 basketball coaches, you have 2 or 3 soccer coaches, both on male and female. I think having relevancy within esports, it has probably a 15 to 25x, return versus like traditional sports. And I can say that with my background and everything like that, and just knowing how we look at it. But at the same time, if you're not looking at esports as a relevant, not even revenue stream, but relevant digital eyeball within your sports and student life perspective, I think you are sort of behind the times.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise. Oh, and it's going to be...
This corner judge is good for 1, 2, dip. He needs more.
They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. Collins walks it in.
Toy Boy is gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Johnny.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
That's so cute. UCF, and it's really cute. I'm gonna move down here. How do we feel? The odds for UCF? What are we thinking?
They got it.
No, we got this. We got it. We got it. Go Knights. Charge on.
100%. My friend Nick is behind you. He's gonna record it. Don't look at him. You'll ruin the shot. Don't look at him. Don't look at him.
Come on. Oh, let's go! Let's go!
My smile's probably really creepy. I was just being weird.
Oh, I love being in the shadows, though. Big shout out to the shadows.
We could interview Dilly.
Here's the thing about the event.
Man, after game number 1, it's been red side supremacy. It has been ONU to claim 2 games in a row and making it look easy as well. We saw Pace try and change things up, and it's all down to this. It is the last chance for Pace to bring it back and push us to a game number 5, and they tried everything. They tried changing up champions. They tried changing up the players. What's next? What is next here, Shibby? What can they do?
Change up the game mode. Let's play some Dominion. Change it to see what happens.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just kidding. Maybe
change the game mode. Oh my lord.
Maybe change the game. Maybe Pace is better at Valorant. I'm just joking, guys. ONU have just been firing on all cylinders, though, right? Like you look at it, 2-1. They've just annihilated Pace. A 26-minute game, a 23-minute game. This varsity squad is in, and I said that they looked really clean together. They've got a lot of time together. I feel like Pace, they're looking for these kind of like band-aid fixes, when in reality, you're just plugging up holes and more water is coming in. Let's strengthen the foundation. Let's get your drafts a little bit more simple. Let's get an identity going. If you just have to draft team fight, right? Don't try to get yourself a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You're not cooking anything too complex. Let's just make some pasta. Let's make some ramen and enjoy that.
Man, we got food on our mind. We've been here for about 3 hours. The teams have as well. I mean, we got taro in there. We got the mix. We got what? We got ramen. We got tofu coming in. I don't know. I personally am a sushi fan, so like I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I really want sushi right now. Late night sushi, by the way, is fantastic. But you know what hasn't changed? And I was curious about this one. We're still stuck on the same side. So remember, Pace does have options. And I said it all throughout the series. I think that R5 has really been an amazing point for Ohio Northern. I'm amazed Pace don't want to do it themselves as they go ahead and complete almost the exact same bans from game number 1. This should be a GP ban coming out. And if not, I mean, V-Drum's going to steal that away.
Yeah, GP ban coming in. Maybe throwing Ohio off. Like, hey, wait, they didn't ban GP. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's gone. As Gragas, Malphite, and Scion are taken away. Pace Rune, man. This guy is not allowed to play in his champions. I would suggest they just lock the Ornn in early, right? It doesn't matter at this point, because if it gets banned out, what are you going to pick here? As they are going to take the Milio away. Let me see some Lucian Milio. This lane absolutely terrorizes people. It is so disgusting having that extended range. It is simply the new Lucian Nami, just better. Milio, we've traded water, we've gotten fire now, and you've added some spice into your bot lane as the Nautilus gets taken from Ohio Northern here. Not locking it that Jinx just yet.
I don't think they're going to, and that means actually I feel like Pace is actually going to be the ones to lock that one in if there's anything, right? Because we said something had to change. You are giving Ohio Northern way too much. Oh, and you have gotten comfort picks pretty much for 2 games straight. These shadow bans are a way to go. I do give a lot of credit to people that do choose shadow bans. And again, for those wondering, maybe joining us for the first time here late in the series, a shadow ban is just stealing away the champion, right? You just pick it up for yourself. You take it away. And I like this, right? Question back on it. The Graves actually did work.
Yeah, I think Taro on the Graves actually did do a lot here. It wasn't even, bad into aggression. I feel like he was outpacing him. He was really getting a lot of kills, picking up stuff here, right? He was matching him. And when we flipped to the gold a couple times, they were pretty much even relatively, right? Aggression was a couple hundred up here and there, but Nitro is going to lock in the J top. The could go mid is a bit of a flex pick here. Vitarum potentially locking in the Cassante here on flex pick though. Could go mid, could go top. I don't think either of the teams are giving too much, and neither of these guys have locked in their 80 carries here. Wonder if the bans will change up. Pace, take the Jinx out. Don't give it to Kai, man.
Don't. Just please no. Like, of all things, please no. You already gave the Udyr, and we saw what happens on the bot side, right? We are going to see that happen again, I think, just because the Nautilus was locked in first. We're going to see bot lane be punished, so it's a scary thought. Still, look at the bans here. This is a push for an ADC change up in the bot side. Aphelios banned away. Pace are going to have to run with a different ADC. This is a force here by ONU. The Ahri ban, though. The Ahri ban is curious to me because Kato played a phenomenal Talia. And you look down the line, there we go. Okay, so this is appropriate. Ban it away.
They take the Ahri, they take the Talia, Syndra as well. So 3 mid lane bans forced onto Kato here. What will he be able to pull out of his magic hat here as the Jinx is not a surprise. It's not a trick. It's probably the one thing I was expecting to see once that was taken. And they're just allowed to pick that late here. So mid lane counter pick potential, or even top lane counter pick for Ohio Northern here as the Zeri potentially locked in with the Milio. Not my favorite pairing. You want to play something aggressive. You want to play something that can trade well because of the extended range, because of what Milio does inherently as a champion. Locking in something like this, you kind of concede the lane over. And if you give Kai and Cuz a free lane, they'll happily take it. As the Vigar is coming in orbital. That's your favorite champion.
Please do it. Yes! Yes! It's in! It's in! Nitro! You heard me! You played the Annie, it didn't really work. Bring out the Vigar, screw early game, go all in on the late game. Just send it.
And now this Jay's definitively going into that top side here. Ohio Northern, they have the pick now. What are they going to go? As it looks like it is going to be the Cassante mid lane. Gnar being locked in the top. Bit on the magic damage here. We do have Demonic Embrace Udyr. I don't know if it's necessarily enough. Pace can have a really good time building that armor. But you look at their team composition. Who realistically is going to build like a Randuin's or a Frozen Heart? These are all squishy AD champions primarily for the most part, other than that Vigar, who may or may not pick up that Zhonya's here. Will be really interesting.
I will actually say I've been hearing inklings that, of course, in solo queue, Vigar bot side is nasty, and that build can actually translate to the mid lane. You can go a bit tanky once you build up the AP in the back line. It is possible. I will say it is possible. They're not as squishy as we assume, but it does yield that same fact. They have to get to that point, right? They do have to get to that mid to late game point, and as you said, they're conceding a lot. Pace are saying, we're kind of sacking the bot side, we're kind of sacking the mid, we're hoping to scale up. It's really on Rue and Taro, which is a big shift. Rue has, you said it before, been on an island for a majority share of this series. To be given the reins pretty much in Game 4 is a crazy change-up, in my opinion. Taro gonna try and roam out to the top side. I wouldn't even be upset at a bot side start and roam your way up. It's a very different change-up here that you are probably gonna suss out.
It will be interesting, right? You could see like a dead man's play Vigar. You just buy it for that move speed. You never really auto, and you just kind of really value that MS, and you get that armor, you get the HP, like you said. Vigar builds are always a mad scientist. Like, I feel like you can
it's
kind
so
of build
fun,
anything.
by the way.
Yeah,
it's
you
so
get
fun.
your core. You get your core, and it's like, well, what do I pick here? I can literally take anything, right? If it's a tank item, if it's an AP item here. Rue, like you said, has been kind of on the back foot on these tanks. They're finally giving him the opportunity to put on the carry pants here. But ONU versus Pace, Game 4 Orbital. We might be in the final game of the series.
Final game possible, but of course the 5th game could be on the horizon. So let's see what the night brings us here. Pace will be on that blue side. You can see Taro sitting in that mid. And it's a change back, so Taro actually running that one. Thank you, Taro. We do like you a lot. Taro / Mochi, that's another fun one. Nitro, though, you big questions here. Again, you are now in control of the Grays. You might not have the same influence, but we really got to watch. And do we have another swap? Wait, are you kidding me? Fist is now on the top side, and Rue is the one piloting the Milio.
Oh, wait a minute. They said, the jungle mid swap didn't work. Let's do the top bottom lane swap. Fist is like, I'm the carry player. I'm the carry pants here right now. And you look at the mid lane's name. I was just wondering, I wonder what his favorite drink is. I wonder what milk tea flavor he likes here. Taro / Mochi, goated name for sure. Will he be able to put on a goated performance like he did in that Game 1 on the Victor? Still has the Vigar in the range advantage matchup. He's going to be able to farm a lot of AP here, right? Orbital, the melee into Vigar matchup is so nice.
It really is, but again, the scary thing is if you step up like this, this is where it's scary. Look at this. This is, even though you get a farm, you have to focus on both ends. You have to focus on balancing out the farming mentality and trying to poke out your laner. Yes, you might be able to, but as you said, focus on the farm. You'll deal with it later. For right now, try and get as much AP as you can. Mad scientist build here. I have done this just to troll the heck out of it because I play with very aggressive teammates. I have done Grasp of the Undying in situations like this. It's very trolly, but it's very fun.
You just build that HP. It's not as crazy as it would, but it still can get you into a
funny.
specific.
It's so funny.
Just like an unkillable Vigar as Vitarum is going to feel some of that pain. Fist giving him a big beating in that top lane with the Jace here. I like the pick. I like putting on the carry pants, swapping it over. Quay, though, don't know how much synergy he has with Rue. When you swap teammates around all the time and you're playing against Kai Cuz, who literally have been playing together for minimum 4 or 5 months every single week, every single day, you can just see the synergistic differences from these two bot lanes as ONU. Just with that Nautilus, with that Jinx, they're a ticking time bomb, right? Like, eventually they're just going to carry the game, as we saw in Game 2 and 3.
It's just going to get out of control, whether Pace likes it or not. And let's see if Rue can actually change things up. We do have to ask that. We do have to say, okay, they chose to make a swap once again. They chose to kind of change up their players and have a little bit of fun with it. Can they do? And It also leans into Nitro here. We were wondering if Nitro was going to start on the top or bot, and they started on the bot side, so Rue is now going to eat so much extra damage. The Chompers aren't going to land. But you know what? Nitro's here to stay, and that's going to be first blood on the top side. What? No way. Fist actually won that one, but Aggression said, hey, I'm down here too. Aggression is going to try and burn them down. Rue has to flash away. It's a counter engage, but look at Aggression burning. A couple more lasers should be able to do it, and the zap, they take it. What is going on here? Pace bring out 2 kills, 1 in top, 1 in bot, and are looking for just 1 more.
They heard us, Orbital. They said, no, we want to get to a game 5 here. They get a kill in the top lane. They get a kill in the bot lane here. Even with the empowered Phoenix stance here, unable to burn anybody down, whether it was Nitro, Quay, or Rue. They were able to stick into the pocket and focus their damage onto the jungler. Kai, unfortunately, not at the point to really put any damage down, has the Cull instead of Dorons, so his rockets, his minigun, it's not going to be hitting too hard here. And so Rue on the Milio, one of the best things that that champion does is just keep you alive in these really sticky situations.
It's so good, and I mean, it showed right there. ONU very surprised. Right now, this is going to be a chance. Aggression realizing that this is a problem. A little bit of bop on the back of the head. That little smoke screen won't do anything, but Vidrum saying, hey, I got a chance. Is going to go into the Mega Gnar. Nitro dancing around that play perfectly, and honestly, Pace, we wondered what would happen. Both top and bot, the big shifts of the players has yielded results at least to start.
Kato on this mid lane pick. Vidrum, though, just gets the solo bow, gets revenge onto Fist. TP is available for this Jace as well. He could get a really good push onto this turret here and deny quite a lump sum of minions.
Man, I was just praising Fist as well. Just singing the praises, and just a little bit of a problem comes down. So, especially since the fact, like you said, it's
not
a
gonna
huge
get it in.
push. Should be a wave and a half or possibly 2. It's going to be rough. Fist now has to work off that fact. But it opens up, right? Vidrum says, hey, thank you very much. No TPs on either side, though, is going to yield the fact that Owen, you are going to look for this dragon on the bot side. You can see it is an Infernal. So this will be very fun to play.
He actually wasn't able to get the wave in here, and now he's in a really sticky position where he's going to trade some of his HP just to get this crashed so that it resets. Fist actually able to make it out back into the minion wave. Doesn't miss too much, actually stays ahead despite the 1 kill lead and the 1 kill trade and no TP having as Aggression. Nitro with this Graves pick. Oh my god!
I'm not sure if that was the play that you wanted to make. You gonna get any help, and the fact that both Kai and Cuz had most likely recalled ahead of Quay and Rue. A little bit of a rough trade. It leaves open the dragon, and this will be fully immersed for ONU. Yes, early shakeup, 2 kills on either side, but it's a big boon for them as they get the AD and AP boost. Mid lane Kato showing a little bit of a trade and tries to flash behind. Is now going to dash out. Taro gets out of that sticky situation as well.
Aggression kind of low at the dragon, but yeah, you're right. The vision, the boost from the Infernal. I mean, ONU, they slipped up in the beginning, but Cuz, once again, just a menace on the map. He is literally the second jungler. Like, it's not just Aggression anymore. These two are just bullying everybody out, and Vigar staying in the mid lane steadfast as well has actually dropped in CS to this Cassante here in the mid lane. Kato flexing his chample, right? He was playing control mages, he was playing a pick comp mage, right? Something that's a little bit more mobile with the Ahri, and has now completely swapped over to like this tanky bruiser mid lane.
It's the I can do everything better than you, and I will prove it. Rue now getting hooked up. This is only level 5, so nothing too crazy, but look at that, the burn. The damage is just too good. It's almost like a walk in the park for this ONU bot lane. Even without help, it's just a straight up double kill. Kai shuts them down and said, we don't need aggression because we got friendship.
Friendship is magic, right? They're channeling their inner My Little Pony here as Kai99 looking to ride maybe the rainbows into game 4 here and take that for themselves as Aggression gets knocked back. Fist, what can he do? No flash available.
Call in his jungler. That's what he's going to do. We got Power Frenzy too. The Power Rangers trying to mobilize here, but they're a little bit older right now. I mean, if you've seen the reunion one, oh man, it was a thing. But we are looking here. That was save Fist. Bot lane still in a torturous position. That was 2 free kills handed over. You are now up against a Noon Quiver and booted up with the pickaxe behind. And even on all that, Owen, you were playing with a cold to start here, so this is going to be a nasty exchange of gold. Herald also going to aggression play.
Yeah, this guy has had just really good objective control on the Udyr when he so pleases, right? Like, they're willing to give up dragons when they want to, but if they're playing this objective-based game, ONU has been really good at stacking early dragons, right? They, at one point, had a Hextech Soul at the 22.5-minute mark. Because that's the second jungler, man! Straight up! Look at what he's doing! 2 paces lanes!
I love that you're trying to analyze all these moves, and by the time you're done with the analysis, they're already on to the next move. They just aren't letting you talk, Shibby.
No. They don't like me. They're like, we want to end the game. We're done here. But Kuz has just been doing really, really good. And Kai, credit to him, right? Very self-sufficient, but staying in this lane. Understands that Milio Zeri realistically can't pressure me under a turret, can't pressure me by myself, right? It's not a Lucian Nami. It's not like a Misfortune Thresh or a Leona Tristana where if you're left alone in that lane, they will dive you, they will deny you minions, they will do everything they can to make sure you don't have a fun time. This bot lane matchup, the Zeri Milio, you concede the lane, and so Kuz is allowed to just wreak havoc across Summoner's Rift.
Just having a blast. Just like, I want to burn this spot? Cool, we'll burn this spot. I want to fight here? Cool, we'll fight here. There's just no stopping him. Nitro having to stay in pit, especially with an upcoming... Oh, Kuz knew that was going to happen. Yes, you get over the wall. It's enough, but look at that. Did he get a rocket? Does it land? Oh, my lord. The bouquet would have killed Nitro, by the way. That would have been a kill, and I think Nitro knows it. Holy crap, that was scary.
Very scary indeed. It's now aggression. And Kuz, like, my jungle too, man. Like, you're not allowed here. Nitro. Oh, the Hex Flash is going to come up. Oh, disgusting. Goodbye, Nitro.
Nitro, you are dead. Oh, no.
Oh!
Yeah, flash the wall, but there's the depth charge. We were wondering where it was, and yeah, this is... Smite goes down. Hook should come out like Kuz, and tanking it up. Bot side, though. We get a TP from Taro, and Taro's like, what the heck am I doing here? 3v4, no wave to be had, but look at this. They're going to cut it off. Oh my gosh, they're going to make him stare death in the face. This is rude.
This is a Vigar, though. Like, Cage is very, very deadly here. You get locked into one of those, you're tanking the turret. I don't know if they're going to come out of this unscathed. ONU, Rift Herald does get popped. Oh my god, they're huddling around the turret. Please save, help the children, Orbital. Don't let them die.
Oh my gosh, if they beat the tower at 2, they're going to call in another TP. Look at the burn damage. Taro gets 1, but the blood is on their hands. In comes Fist to try and help out, but it's brutal to say the least. Fist gets drawn back into the fight. The rockets from Kai is so strong, and it's 2 kills. Aggression on the backside, though. Quay says you paid your last price and is looking for a double. Do they get it? Look at the Qs. The Qs zapping away, but that's going to be a shock blast, and Empower takes the kill. And Kai is running for their life. I think the wall should have enough, though. This is going to be Quay chasing. Do you get over? No. Vidrum's going to run him off. It was a risky dive. Let's be honest. Vidrum says, I got it. Don't worry. Double buffs to the Gnar.
Jumps over, gets the Q, hyperstack going, says, I can do this. You have no sums. You have nothing. They don't come out unscathed, right? They get the charge. They drop some kills. They get some for themselves. Overall, a net neutral play. They're still up roughly 3,000 gold at the end of it all, but it's the emotional damage that ONU has inflicted onto Pace. You're not even safe under your turret. You better drop every single TP, get everybody down here to survive our wrath, as now ONU, Kuz, is not done hex flashing over walls, depth charging individuals, and dredge lining people to their doom, as he's just chilling in the bush. Doesn't know that he's seen, so I think Rue is going to try to make himself look a little bit juicy.
Oh man, this has been... It's been a little bit of a tango. That's all I can say here. Oh my gosh, are they going to do it again? Are they actually going to do it again?
No.
They're looking. Cuz wants it so bad. You can see it in his eyes.
Through the helmet, right?
Yeah, you can see it, the glow of I want blood.
I can see it flipping over to red right now as aggression Kai is going to pick up that last turret for himself and get the turret plate gold as well, which is really crucial. It's going to jet set him so far forward right now as Aggression is going to pick up the Hextech Dragon, setting themselves up for a 24-minute Mountain Soul here. And then this potentially final game for Pace here. It's looking rough as the Hex Flash goes in.
Oh, and they make it look so pretty. This is going to be death. On the far side, Aggression keeps Rue from helping out the team. The Vigar can't do too much because Kato jumps over the event horizon. On the top side, we see another kill go down. Vidram gets locked down by Fist and Nitro. But I said it once, I'll say it again. A kill for kill's sake is just a kill. Cuz and the rest of the squad gonna push it on this mid lane and look to take a tower.
Kai just gonna back off. Has actually, interestingly enough, built the Gale Force for himself. Doesn't need that tank shred with the Kraken Slayer that you typically see. I'm kind of surprised she didn't go Immortal. There's so much burst coming out from Pace University here with the Jace and the collateral damage from the Graves. Obviously, the Primordial Burst is a bunch of literal burst, right? So I would suspect that the Immortal Shield Bow would have been the play here. But I think she just values, or in this case, she just values her Kai being out of position of that burst, right? Getting away from it, staying in that range leash where she can just rocket you from super far, doesn't have to worry about any of the abilities landing, and if somebody some way hits something straight onto you, you can Gale Force out and stay to your safety. So valuing the move speed over the initial shield, that's fine, Kai. You've earned it.
You've earned a chance. You've earned a chance. Be happy, be calm about it. But what else are they going to do here? Again, ONU now on to the second Herald 2 minutes earlier than in game number 3, by the way. This has been a very, very nice pace. Cuz is straight up bullying Nitro. Look at this. Cuz is alone. Cuz is straight up. Oh my gosh! No! No, Nitro, you gotta run him down. I don't care if you die. You cannot let the support disrespect you like that. Move your butt. Go take that kill. No. Cuz cannot be allowed to do that. That's so illegal. Oh my gosh, no, no, no!
This is what you wanted, Orbital! You can't act disappointed now!
That's fair, that's fair. Oh my gosh, the style though. The style from Cuz is real.
Like a bad ex-girlfriend saying, this is what you wanted, this is what you wanted to see, Orbital. Nitro going in deep says, have I made you proud? They took my grump, I'll give my life. Cuz, though, with the rest of ONU, punish Nitro for the aggression, and they are just having fun on the Rift.
They're having a blast, and I don't blame them for that, right? You're one game away, and you feel you have it unlocked. The last 2 games have gone very, very smoothly for you. You have the right to have a little bit of fun here. I have seen what happens to teams though that go a little bit too crazy, but I don't think it'll happen here. Aggression, Kaz, and Kai make up a ridiculous trifecta of pain, of shielding, and healing. And this top side is the only one that has not been broken just yet. So you can see here, this is Kato saying, let's go ahead and get this tower. Let's lock down this open position, and let's start getting that global objective control that we so want to have.
I mean, it's not as detrimental as like an 8,000 gold right at the 12-minute mark that ONU had last game, but it is 5,000, nearly 6 almost for them at the 18-minute mark, which is still a lot to climb through as ONU is going to back. We're in the Baron waiting room, but in the meantime, they are probably going to set up for this Mountain Dragon here, putting them on Soul Point in about a minute, as long as they get control. There is a small little window for Pace to kind of even up the gold potential. Not even up, but like kind of claw their way back because the items are relatively even. Yes, rapid fire is done on Kai, but if you look at the mid lane, if you look at the top lane, if you look at the jungle, they're all relatively power neutral. I think even the Jace probably having a small item advantage if you can pick up that Manamune before this dragon comes up. There is a window where Pace could find an advantageous fight. If they find Kai out of position here, you look at the gold across the map, a lot of that is on, 2,600 gold actually is on Kai alone. So that 3,000 gold lead, or sorry, 6,000 gold lead, half of that is on the ADC. So you knock him out and you have a chance of your Pace. Are going to have to pull miracles, but I think it's possible.
Big questions abound right now. Possibilities. I mean, it's not zero as you said, but It's getting there. This dragon might seal the deal though. ONU setting up for it. It is just a mountain. And it looks like Pace are saying, okay, we can't chance it. Let's go ahead, back up, get with the rest of the squad, and play it smart. Slow, working the way forward, and they do have to keep eyes on this as well. ONU are doing a very, very good job of keeping their wave states in proper order. They're ensuring that whenever they go for an objective, the waves are crashing at the tower. There is never a moment where Pace are allowed to just look in one direction. They have to look in two, they have to look in three, and they have to split their attention every single moment. Huge props for them. And this is going to be Kato on the bot side, just stealing away another kill.
Kato just saying this is his jungle as well. Nitro has effectively been starved out here, even though they've been taking his jungle. It's funny, aggression is actually lower on the CS lead, camp lead if you want to say that, as now the Manamune has been finished here. Fist unable to contest much here. Jace had a fine time in lane, has a nice CS lead, but kind of the rest of his map has been set ablaze. I mean, this Jinx is so far ahead, as Vitorum, though, will be a consolation prize.
Yep, just a little small one. You'll take it. You'll take whatever you can. You're still on soul point. This is... I mean, this is... it's looking rough. 7-Elevens, I mean, they're known for being open 24/7 here, and this one, ONU, has so many opportunities all hours of the day to just be happy and take what they want. That's going to be a TP in to get Kato ready for the fight. Fist and Rue are currently soloed out, and Fist is now left alone. You can't even get the support. Yes, you do. That's going to be the consolation, though. Cuz says, cool, you got me. But that's going to be the primordial burst, so dropping aggression down. And that will be the chance. It is still a tower down. Rocket lands on the majority share of Pace. But Quay wants a little bit more, wants to dance him out. Everfrost's not going to land. So ONU have done what they needed to do. Oh, it's that.
Orbital.
Oh my gosh, they're going to continue. They're going to continue. They're going to continue. That's going to be the kill. Killing spree forward. Another rocket, another rocket, another rocket, another rocket. Kai finishes it off.
Who's missing on Pace's side? Can you find out, Dora the Explorer style, who is missing on Pace's side? Where is he? Oh, it's Nitro on the top side of ONU, red side, taking the camps. He's like, wait, what? I thought you guys were winning the fight. What happened here? Increasing his creep score, increasing, just saying, you know what? It wasn't a jungle gap. KP, be damned. I had the camp lead, guys. It's not my fault. Nitro padding the stats here while his base goes into shambles. 7,000 gold now for ONU. And I said there was a window. Orbital, that window is closed. It's been slammed shut, locked down. It's done here. As Fist, though, is able to pick up the kill onto Vitorum, but I don't know how much that's going to do for them.
It's, again, we said it time and time again, it's consolation. It's an extra 300 gold here. Have it. It's like tossing pennies to Pace right now. It's Baron that's really on the table here. ONU have been stalwart in controlling all the objectives. Keep in mind, all the global objectives have still been in favor of ONU. I don't think they dropped a single Herald this game. They haven't dropped a single Dragon. They haven't even dropped a single tower. ONU may have given 10 kills over, but all the pressure has been on Pace's side of the map. So for Pace, if you were to do one last Hail Mary, Shibby, if you had to call for one last Hail Mary, what would you want to see done?
I think for Pace here, they just try to catch somebody out that is more crucial to ONU, right? Like, they've got Vitorum multiple times, but Kai is deathless. Kato only has one, right? Like, it's not like Aggression is having an insane bonkers game on the Udyr. He's just farming, he's picking up objectives, he's really just playing around his solo carries. They really have to kill Kai, and I think they're going to do that. They have to set a trap in their jungle. They have to wait on the over-aggression. Like, that's the Hail Mary play, right? Camp a bush, do something, be unorthodox, because if you're just going to kind of push lanes out, ping-pong them back, maybe wait for Quay to get items, like, it's just never going to happen, right? ONU aren't going to int into you like they did in Game 1. They've learned their lesson, and this is a team that adapts and evolves. And now you see Fist running away from Kato, who's matching him in the split push. Top lane is going to go down here. They could potentially push for inhib. Nitro goes to smoke screen, but I don't know how much that's going to do.
It's going to deter them ever so slightly. They took the inhibitor tower. That's all they really need because they're waiting for the rest of the wave. Baron is up for another 2.5 minutes on them. They're fine to dance this one out. There's nothing else to take on the map. They have literally nothing else to do. So ONU are going to take their time. They're going to wait for the waves to crash and just slowly melt these inhibitors away. This is going to be top side down. Fist is ready to come in the side, and Nitro is going to burn. One final crit will take that life, and it's down goes Nitro. Taro, though, wants to try and get some revenge. Cuz is quite low, but they have to get back. Take a look at where this Cassante is currently standing, right in the middle, right in the open, as Fist is trying to bully him out. But it's so good. Oh, and you dancing the line perfectly. Oh, wait. Oh, no, Taro. Oh, no, Taro. The poor Yordle will get slammed, will get bullied, will get stunned, and chomped. Oh, slaughter as the bot lane inhibitor falls as well.
Mid lane inhib next on the map. The zoom out perfectly painting the picture as now they want to paint their own story. Oh, and you want to punch a ticket to the finals right here and right now, Orbital.
They are not going to stop. They smell the win under their belts. They get the hook on Nitro. The AoE rockets do some work. A final one to end it. Burn, baby, burn. It's a triple for Kai as they look to end 10-19, 24 minutes. ONU, after losing game one, bring the varsity squad out and secure their ticket. They secure the series and they secure the night in their
ONU. It wasn't a best of 5 for them, right? They were just like, you know what? You take game one, you can have it. Eat your cake, whatever. Celebrate now. We're bringing in the varsity squad. You have to contend with the final boss. And unfortunately, Pace is out. They'll bow out at the semifinals. They'll be 3rd, 4th place here for themselves here. ONU, though, looking dominant. This was the team, Orbital, that you said didn't drop a game in ECAC? Or
they did not drop a series, I believe.
Drop a series. Yeah, so there you go. That's the ONU that we got, right? The ONU that didn't drop a series. The ONU that was a monster across the team. And they are just playing clean League of Legends, right? Game one, all right, yeah, you inted a little bit, but 2, 3, and 4, all ending in 26 minutes or less, not really giving too much up. Clinical on their takedown of the turrets, of the objective, just the way they move around the map. They play like a well-oiled machine, and rightfully so. These guys have been playing for quite some time this year together. So, as expected, I think 3-1 was an interesting result, but shout-outs to ONU for just closing it out.
I mean, they did a phenomenal job, and we'll get a little bit of insight as well as the team has climbed the ranks through the playoff bracket. So let's go to a quick break. We'll get an interview with one of the players from Ohio Northern squad as they kind of look over fondly their series here tonight. Don't go anywhere.
Recording already? Great. So this is this is Bay State versus UCF. I believe something that we saw yesterday on day one of the tournament, but instead we're gonna have that run back here. I think they're fighting for a spot in Grand Finals. Anarchy, one of the best Greninja players in the United States, currently struggling against a Terry. Terry notorious for that DLC privilege, being a very strong character with some very strong abilities. Greninja, not so much, considered one of the weaker characters in the game. A Falco player, one of the best in the United States, and he just got spiked by a Terry. Same Terry that took out Anarchy literally minutes ago. UCF still up by 2 stocks. This guy is looking to rip this team apart single-handedly. That is, I mean, nuts, to say the very least. Absolutely absurd. That was a disgusting spike. I cannot believe that happened. Will you hold the microphone so I can sign this? Sorry.
For context, he's got a fan. He's actually signing something. He's so excited.
What was it like to not hear my voice for 2 minutes? For 30 seconds, maybe. What was it like? Probably bliss. I was signing a mouse pad, which is really cool. I've never done that before. Nobody's ever asked me for a signature, so I'm going to start blushing, but I'm really excited about that. And then he wants a picture. Can you take a picture of us? I said, is it bad? She went, no. I'm going to go ahead and take that as a yes.
Turns out I can't tie a tie sitting down.
What do you think is the appropriate face-to-screen ratio for a Valorant player?
Face-to-screen? Like how close I sit?
Yeah, like how close should a player sit?
Personally, I play really, really close. I think it depends on your eyesight, but for me, I like playing close because it helps me focus on my crosshair.
Is the value of sitting close, the crosshair being the only thing in your line of sight?
Yeah, that's pretty much the main benefit of it.
It's so funny how close some of these guys sit. Oh my goodness. What do you think is the healthy face-to-screen distance for a Valorant player?
I think it's all kind of personal preference. I guess I would consider myself like pretty close when I play because I like to like zone in on my crosshair.
It is the second person to say that. It's all about the crosshair. And then what's up with the horizontal keyboard?
I don't know. Like it just kind of fits like the form when I'm close to monitor. Like I don't know. It might sound cringy, but I like to like be one with my gun. You know?
No, bro. I feel it. I feel it absolutely. What is going on, everybody? I am here with some UCF fans. How are we feeling about UCF? Let's go! Let's go! We've got a bunch of UCF fans in the crowd right now. UCF, they are up by a single game. They're looking to find their third and possibly final, secure a spot moving forward. Things looking great for them against Northwood here today. This guy's playing Minecraft right now. He keeps double building instead of placing the dirt. Pressure's on, man. Everybody's watching. Just kidding. Just me. Cameraman's not over here. Just kidding. He's behind you. There's actually always cameras on you if I'm around. Do you double build all of those? No excuses, bro. Your college esports Minecraft team absolutely rolled. L after L here. Let's hope UCF has a little better luck on stage, huh? What is going on, everybody? I am Septilence. I have the honor of welcoming you to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup here in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, that was good. That was good. Good content. Good content.
Hello everybody and welcome back to ECAC Plays of the Week, and it's not just any week this time, it is the playoffs. We've got 8 incredible clips and I'm super excited to jump into them. My name's Septilence. I hope you're ready to hop into the ride because it's going to be a great one. When I found out this was clip number 8 of the playoffs highlight reel, I was flabbergasted because this is an incredible moment from Swift on the side of RPI. It's not just 1 or 2 elims to win the round and put RPI in a better position. It's all 5 coming from a single player. Take a look.
They hit him with the judge, operator in hand. Swift is trying to be able to find some value to it. The headhunter does a number on him. They're able to get a 4K. They're going to be able to get this plan down. Dakota's going to try and find him. Do they go into the tank? Yes, they do. Oh, they come out. That's the ace for Swift. They're able to make it happen all themselves. And they will get this one for free for RPI.
Clip number 7 tells a pretty amazing story as well. Ball State already up 2 games in a best-of-7 series, and they find themselves tied 2-2, less than a minute left on the clock. Perhaps a little bit more pressure than they'd want there in game number 3, but it's Daffy from Ball State that takes all the pressure and immediately relieves it from the team.
Find it back, pass to Daffy, bar down and in. Ball State will not be denied a game.
And we are back here today to finish off the series. It was a 3-1 victory for ONU. Their squad rolled through 2, 3, and 4. And to get a good idea of what's been going on, we get to talk to their bot laner, the Jinx Master themselves. It is going to be Kai99. This unkillable god on the bot side was ridiculous. Kai, how you doing today?
I'm feeling all right. Could be better. Less deaths in that game would have been a lot better, so...
Well, Orbital, I told you, we have King Kai here, the first team MEC All-Pro 80 carry himself. He's not done with his wrath. He's not done dispensing it. Kai, walk me through the Jinx pick. Like, they're just offering it to you. They're giving it to you. Was that like your coach coming in here and saying, just pick it, just pick it, just pick it? Or you said, what did you say? You're trying to learn Jinx?
Yeah.
That's interesting that you're learning Jinx as you're getting triple and quadra kills.
Well, I will say, every game, well, before the game started today, I said I'm going to pick Jinx every game if they let me, so I can learn.
Hey.
Cuz says hits my worst ADC. I agree. So, so that's the main reason I'm trying to learn it. I don't really need to learn Aphelios at this point, so I'm like, well, what's the most use of my time? Learning Jinx, so here we are.
And, you know, I will talk about it. We're not going to ignore it. You did drop game 1 over to Pace there. A little bit of over-aggression. It felt like you guys had it, and then I just see Kai99 in the front rocketing with the lethal tempo. Were you just like feeling yourself a little bit? You didn't respect the Aphelios, didn't respect the Victor verse. I mean, you've had to have seen the double lift video, right? Where he just gets bursted in the mid lane. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, after we threw it in their base when everyone dove, and I was kind of just standing still, like, guys. After that, I don't know what happened. We'll just say it was misplaced. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
We'll throw it under the rug, just like that Hextech soul.
Yeah.
You got me now, just like
that.
Yeah,
that was. I was like, what are the odds he actually shows up, right? And then he did, and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, well, I'm gonna chase him. I died.
And so you guys have competed now with your varsity team, your JV team in the ECAC playoffs or ECAC. How has your run been, and kind of how have the playoffs been for your varsity team? Right, like is this like business as usual for you guys? Is this something like, hey, we want to give our JV guys some starting time, we want to have to get some playoff experience? Because after game one, it's just the swap happened, and I just saw that's the MEC ONU. I told Orbital like this is gonna look a little rough.
Yeah, so the entire season, so we have a 10-man roster, and for the most part, this is what we wanted JV to kind of like use as their training grounds, prove themselves, see what they can do. But then it kind of just unfortunate where some of the JV people couldn't make it tonight, and then we just kind of subbed in game one. But for the most part, we kind of let them try to prove themselves game one, and then if that doesn't go well, just maybe it's a little mean or dirty to sub in the whole varsity team after game one if they don't win, but that's the game plan from now on.
Fair enough. I mean, if it's within the rule book, then you got to be prepared for everything here. My final question, Kai, you guys have come to the playoffs. You guys have got some dominant scores. I've seen what you did last week. What is your prediction for finals? You've punched your ticket in. What is it? 3-0, 3-1, 3-2? Give it to me.
I'll say 3-0. I'll say 3-0. Now that the Jinx is matured a little bit, I can just pick anything. I think we'll be fine. So, 3-0. Yeah, we win 3-0.
All right. I like it.
Well, we would win 3-0. We'll see what happens if we'll see what happens if JV plays. But we'll win either way.
Okay.
Throwing shade.
I love it though. I love it. Right, the shade being thrown and the fact that you guys are able to have this 10-man roster, yeah, it seems weird or whatever, we can say that, but it works, right? At the end of the day, it works, and you guys are rocking it to the very end, and I love that. So, Kai, I think I interviewed you just a couple days ago as well. I think a little bit ago, I'm not sure. But I wanted to hear, once again, a couple shout-outs here, and then I'll have one question afterwards. Any final shout-outs, anyone that you'd like to give major props to, whether it be in the program, outside the program, or anyone personal that you know?
First of all, shout out to the JV team for making it to playoffs in the first place, because we didn't play anything until playoffs, so here we are, thanks to them. Shout out to Troy, too, this guy. I can't get my finger right. Yeah, that guy. There's our director and coach, him. He's pretty cool. Oh, Aggression says he wants a shout out, but he was flaming me the entire series, so I don't know about that. He said my Jinx was awful.
I gotta see the hair. I gotta see the aggression.
Hey, Fernando, come over here. Hey, get your hair in here, dog. Oh, he's got it tied back. He's got it tied back.
You got it tied back. No.
No fro today, unfortunate.
Sadness. But
I'll post a picture of him with a fro on my Twitter later. How about that?
Yes,
that works?
Yes. I'll take that.
We got to get tagged in that one, right? We got to get all the tags going there. But
yeah, I'll tag
you know what?
Don't worry.
Yes. Congratulations once again. My final question, though, because you laid it out that you will play just about anything now that you got the Jinx. Are you going to give me Vayne then? Because I have yet to see someone pop up with Vayne, and I want to see it so badly. Are you gonna bring that one out for me?
I will say Vayne is one of my most played champions.
Yes.
It's kind of terrible bot, but if maybe.
Yeah.
But actually, if I wouldn't mind playing into like a Zeri lane, so I'll keep that in mind for the finals. If they pick a Zeri lane, I'll keep the Vayne in mind.
Alrighty, well, congratulations again for the victory tonight. You guys have booked your ticket to the grand finals, and it's a ridiculous show as well. Fantastic job tonight. Thank you so much for the interview, Kai.
Thank you, guys.
With that, of course, we are done here for the night. It was phenomenal watching this squad, ONU, giving us a phenomenal 4 games pace, trying to keep up, and they did their part as well. They gave us some glorious moments. They made it to the semifinals, and congratulations on their run as well. That'll be it here tonight, but of course, there's more games all the way through. Phenomenal times here. I think next week we're going to have finals across multiple different games as well as a special event next week, so make sure to tune in for that one. But tonight, that'll be it for us here today. My name is Orbital. With me has been Shibby. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a fantastic night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup here in Boise, Idaho. The Western Regional Qualifier has been up and running all day long. We've got a great team of people scattered out throughout the building that are ready to bring you all the action of the content. We're going to jump over to the player pit with Septilence and get a hear on what's going on over there.
Hello, everybody. My name is Septilence, and not every great game can happen on stream, so a little bit of them happen here in the player pit. We've got UCLA versus UNLV in the lower bracket map 5 control happening right now. Whichever team loses this, unfortunately, goes home this weekend. It is all on the line right here. Capture the energy and the excitement of how much this can mean to these players.
Thank you so much, Septilence. It looks like great things are going on over there, and a lot of us have been spending all day long here in the buildings. We want to take a look outside. We're now going to jump over to Septilence with the weather. Thank you so much, Septilence. I, like many other people here at CECC West, have been inside since about 8 o'clock this morning. It was nice when I was out there, but as of right now, I have no clue what the weather's like. Back to you on the desk, Septilence. All right. I guess that's the weather from Septilence. We've got a couple more reporters scattered out around the building. The first one going to be out on stage, getting a great feel for the competitors and the competitive nature that builds at an in-person event like this. Let's take a look at what Septilence has going on stage. Here on the main stage, we have Hawaii versus Oregon in our first streamed Valorant matchup of the weekend. These players, only some are going to get to play on stage, but when you're up there, it creates a whole new world of nerves, dangers, and new opportunities to take down your opponent. Thank you so much, Septilence, for going out and getting that information of what's happening on stage and letting us know which players and teams are having a good or bad time. So this event's all about at the end of the day is the players that are going to walk away with that first place slot. We're going to jump out to Septilence in the audience, who, if the rumors are true, is about to get some breaking news. It has been chaos here today, Septilence. It has been a very busy day for these players, and Wave Riders from Hawaii are keeping it a very close game on stage, and things are This just in breaking news. We see the University of Hawaii Overwatch team goes 0-2 in pools, and unfortunately, I don't think is going to be able to make it into the bracket. Now that's some crazy breaking news. Some of the anchors here are a little more well-versed in our job, and others maybe are a little rustier, a little shakier. We're going to throw it over to one of our first-time broadcasters and get a feel about what he's got and his thoughts on this weekend. From what I understand, we have a correspondent somewhere outside. Apparently, he's running a little bit late. Maybe let's jump over to him and see if he's on his way.
They said look for the Septilence news van. I'm going to be so late. What time is... Oh, my coffee! Oh, come on! Oh, man!
Now, collegiate esports is often a place where legends are forged as these players go head-to-head until there is the best of the best left standing. Now, we've gotten a rumor that a pro player has entered the building, and we've got a correspondent with a little more information on that. Septilence, take it away.
You know, I didn't think it was going to be easy, but it was a lot harder than I expected. When you arrive to somebody named Septilence tournament, you don't think there's going to be a full bracket, but a win is a win, you know what I mean? I'm pretty excited to be taking this baby home.
Now, our team of correspondents was spread throughout the building, but due to the fact there's only so many of us, we could bring you just a taste of what the CECC has to offer. Now, remember, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup is in Arlington, Texas later this year, and if you want to keep an eye on that, be sure to follow Esports U on all of their social media, all of their channels, including Twitch and Twitter, to stay up to date with what we have to offer. Thank you so much for joining me and my correspondents, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, CECC West, Septilence is in the audience, Septilence is in the pit, Septilence is outside, Septilence is lost, Septilence is sleeping. We gotta get more people on this team. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Just event of all of these, the massive, nope, I hate it. Oh my God. Okay. Thin and not, nope, I hate it. Sorry. Commission, nope. Screwed it up.
Welcome everybody here to the top 5 plays of the week from Esports U. Klutchke here to help you bring those top 5 plays. We got a good batch for you this week. Let's start off with play number 5. This one taking us to Valorant. It's the Pioneers of Utica University and the NYIT Bears Team Blue. First map comes to Ascent, and the Bears are trying to retake B-site, but Anchor bringing out the judge, and it's time to put NYT under the gavel.
As NYT, you know, not a whole lot of help on IDK board. They're just going to try to straight up big blind HTO7 actually. And now, GB3, the judge though.
Oh! Anchor sent him to the bottom of the ocean. It does it with 3. Welcome to the judge zone. The judge there making the ruling, and the Pioneers would go on to win Ascent and Pearl. They would take the series over NYIT 2-0. Let's move on to number 4 now, and it's time to head to Summoner's Rift on League of Legends. The Centers of Pace University and the Great Danes of Albany are about to throw down in the